was the Big 12 logo with the monster.
Yeah. You don't need to put the Big 12 on there. Just put the monster.
Yeah. We know you're the Big 12.
This looks like a sticker.
Yeah, we know it's the Big 12. You're Kansas.
As Lance has said, they've really NASCAR'd this thing.
They
up.
really have. That jersey is super busy.
Well, you still got two sleeves on there.
Yeah.
The fact you're covering up the K, though, is the problem.
I know. Yeah.
That's the name of the school.
Yeah.
It's just you. It's not KU anymore.
That looks tacky.
That just looks like the person that was sewing it on didn't care.
Yeah, the seamstress.
Now, I will say Adidas could do them.
Because they don't. They're only getting $1 million for it.
Really. Adidas could do them a solid by moving the Adidas patch to the bottom of the V in the neck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That could help a lot right there.
Yeah.
Because that other side just gets so...
Yeah, I guess if you include the outfitter of the uniform, the apparel outfitter, you have 3 logos.
You do.
Like 3 company logos there, technically.
Crazy.
And Adidas is the one that's probably paying the most of all of them.
And y'all saw Alabama Media Day that
I did.
The Alabama around the collar was not there anymore, so it looks like the space has been cleared waiting for the announcement to have a patch.
They're creating inventory.
Yeah.
Though I had been told I didn't think it was going to happen this year.
Really?
But
so that Mercedes deal that Greg Byrne should easily be able to close has not been closed yet?
Well, I mean, I think the bar's been set now.
So it's on the neck logo now, right?
Well,
The SEC?
there used to be a Script A, and they moved it, and they moved the SEC logo there.
The SEC logo
which cleared the spot on the
Nike's here
on the shoulder.
On the shoulder.
Yeah. So,
which I didn't notice at first, but a lot of fans did. I saw it in our chat when it came out, and I saw it on Twitter. Fans complaining about the Script A not being there anymore.
Is there a sponsor you'd like to see on the jersey?
Well, Mercedes or Toyota or something where you just know who the sponsor is.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Trash now. Before we do that, show brought to you by our friends at Champy's Final Hour, always by Champy's Chicken, Highway 119. That is Sterling's place. Go by and enjoy the wonderful fried chicken, brined overnight, cooked to order, hand-cut chicken fingers that Tyler loves when he's there. The in-house made sides, in-house made desserts, and the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It's Highway 119 in Alabaster, perfect for your tailgating. Champy'sChicken.com. Let's do trash.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off? My balls was hot. I understand.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Yeah, I was telling Forrester in the bathroom. I wasn't looking at his meat either because I was in a stall over, but I was like, man, pits are sweating
because
today.
you were in the stall, though.
Pits are sweating.
We start first, Oreo, launching 3 wildly different cookie flavors all at once, but fans will decide which one earns another run in 2027. Oreo handing control of the cookie aisle to its customers with a new lineup featuring banana pudding, deep fried, and chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles has become kind of the what is the fall flavor?
Pumpkin spice.
Yeah, pumpkin spice.
Yeah. Banana pudding's going to be pretty good.
I agree.
I don't like to come back from vacation and talk a lot about my vacation, but Maggie took me to a bakery in New York City that's world famous. I can't remember it now, for their banana pudding, and it was legit.
Wow, in New York City?
Yeah, it was right near 30 Rock because we walked down to the fountains and ate it outside because it was 81 degrees, no humidity. But I was like,
Magnolia Bakery?
It was, absolutely. And it was right near 30 Rock. And she was like, we got to go in here. This place is world famous for its banana pudding. I said, you don't know this, but I'm from the South. We're world famous.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
When you trust a doctor with your life, they owe you proper care. If medical negligence left you or a loved one injured, you deserve answers and compensation. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys have recovered over $2 billion for their clients harmed by medical errors, misdiagnoses, and surgical mistakes. They fight hospitals and insurance companies so you can focus on healing. Don't wait. Medical malpractice cases have strict deadlines in Alabama. Call Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
A ton of college football to get to in this show today, jam-packed. I used to say that back in the day on our AM radio show, and we had a producer that didn't like when I said jam-packed, I don't think. Or maybe he liked it. I can't remember.
He was lazy. He probably did.
and then Phil Steele had it on his magazine for a while. Josh Pate uses it often now. We're so jam-packed, I'm going to get Tyler to come in here right off the bat. Tyler, come stand right here in the middle of the studio.
By the way, I typically don't believe hosts that say they're jam-packed.
Oh, we're so jam-packed.
We're so jam-packed.
That I'm bringing Tyler in here to start things off. Tyler, stand right here. Just for a point of reference, hey, Tyler is 5'7", 150 pounds.
Point of reference, this is the difference in color shades. This is me now in August. Tyler will be me in October.
Tyler's 5'7", 150.
Yeah, 5'7", 150.
All right.
Yesterday, because of the 5 years to play 5 years, whatever, the 5 and 5 rule.
I thought this was a next round 5-year thing. But.
Auburn picked up Troy wide receiver Trey Taylor. Stay here. Trey Taylor is 5'6", 140. So back to Tyler. Tyler is 10 pounds heavier and 1 inch taller than an SEC wide receiver now.
Yeah, but I bet Trey Taylor's quick as a hiccup. Can
He
catch a
has
BB in the dark.
How fast can you? What's your 40?
Yeah.
I used to do
A 4.6?
You did not.
You ran a 4.6 40? Yeah. Tyler played soccer.
Oh, I mean, does that make you fast?
4.6 for a white dude?
4'6".
You don't think 4'6" is fast?
Oh, yeah.
I never did 4'6" ever.
I think he's more 4'7", but, you know, hey, we're a little lenient on the
I like that Lance,
timer.
Lance, without any data possible, says, that was not the right time.
I told him he would have been an excellent slot receiver at Mountain Brook High School with that size and speed.
At Mountain Brook High School, he said,
very
or a purse
maybe
snatcher.
Briarwood.
That's exactly what Scott said Briarwood.
Very carefully selected, yes.
Or purse snatcher in a parking lot somewhere.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you, Tyler. Good job.
Yeah, 1 inch taller than Auburn's new pickup yesterday. And Trey Taylor's going to return some kicks maybe. And
we've seen
play
guys,
in the slot.
You know, I mean, when you look that small, you know, the guys that always jump out are like the Darren Sproles, but Sproles was probably, 5'6", 200 pounds. Literally, it was like 180. But
was he 5'6", really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was
didn't know
trying to think of a 5'6".
Dave Meggett.
A 5'6" SEC player. It'd be a skill player, obviously. A 5'6" SEC player that you guys can remember that was really good. Can you remember one? A guy that was that small?
No, but
Trendon Holiday, LSU, used to be a kick returner. Was about
I
5'6".
remember Trendon Holiday. He was a heck of a player.
I didn't think Sproles was 5'6".
Maybe they'll list him at 5'7", but yeah. Holiday actually played for the Texans.
Yeah, he played in the league.
And the Broncos for a while, too.
Yeah, he was only 5'5", 169, according to the robots.
Sproles may be 5'5", because they list him at 5'6".
Yeah. I mean, and that guy had not only a hell of a career winning a Big 12 championship and dominating a really good Oklahoma team on the ground, but also had a really good NFL career.
2005 through 2019, Chargers, Saints, and Eagles.
That's 14 years as a running back at that size. That's crazy.
Okay, I'll give you one.
He was 190. He wasn't 140.
Now, this guy towers over the guy from Troy, but David Palmer, 5'8", 180. That guy
probably 5'7".
Probably 5'7". That guy was impossible to tackle. So you've had some smaller guys. I mean, it's not unheard of in the SEC.
Yeah, look, I mean, a guy that size would not bother me at all. All it tells you is he's got an incredible skill set.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you, 140 is what surprised me more than 5'6".
Yeah, that is quite light. But if you can never square him up, man, you can't hit him hard.
Yeah, but he'll put on 15 easy.
Even coming from Troy?
Yeah, on this heat.
Just muscle. I mean, that will be tough, but,
Better aim for 30 in this heat.
I mean, just different supplements, diet. I mean, he'll put on 15 of muscle easy.
We're going to hear from Ryan Grubb and Alex Golesh a little bit here in the opening segment as camp continues. We're 11 days away from the start of the college football season. Our Innisfree countdown to kickoff, 11 days away. Your game day tradition is Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Lakeview. Irish-inspired pub food, the signature Irish gold sauce, and always a world-class atmosphere at Innisfree, 11 days away on our countdown to kickoff there. I wanted to get to one other thing before we jump into some camp news. And listen, I'm not even going to say her name because I don't want her to get negative publicity on social media. Her name was well reported last year. But remember the voter last year for the AP poll that after Florida
lost to South Florida. She didn't rank South Florida, but she moved Florida up
I
2
think
spots.
so. Yeah.
Remember that controversy?
Yeah, I do.
And I never expected her to lose her vote in the middle of last season. I think she even was quoted afterwards saying, in the end of it all, it's not really that big a deal.
Yeah, I think she did say that.
Yeah.
She tried to downplay it, which was the mistake, PR-wise.
She's a voter still this year.
Yeah, we went ahead and let her vote.
She didn't lose her vote. And
Susan B. Anthony fought for that.
And by the way, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look, she obviously
it was a mistake, and you shouldn't be penalized forever. And they let her vote the rest of last year, but
I think that's so egregious. I think you're done.
yeah, I mean let's rotate her off and rotate
Yeah,
somebody else.
That's what I'm saying.
Probably-
There's other people that would love to have a vote.
I would not have punted her last year because I don't want to send the message of you can't vote your conscience.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to defend that one, but you still should be able to vote your conscience.
It becomes a bigger deal if you get rid of her mid-season.
That's right.
Let it play out.
Yeah, I would have let it play out, and then next year we're going a different
But
route.
I mean, there's guys like you that did it for free a minute ago, like a couple of days ago, so I'm sure you would do it.
Well, I did it 1 year, and I was one and done.
I did it 1 year. I was one and done.
Yeah, so I may have done a horrible job. I don't know.
I didn't think, I noticed, I was looking at the list of voters. I noticed Reese votes again, which they normally do some national guys and then, kind of geographical representation from certain states. And Reese has been one of the national guys for quite a while. He's voted in this for several years. So
Josh Pate said the other night he turned it down. He was asked to do it, and he turned it down because he likes doing the reaction show every Monday. He does a special show where he reacts to each poll, and he's like, I don't feel like I can sit here and be honest about it if I'm one of the voters.
Right. And I see that side of it, too. Yeah. And I bet guys like Reese are so busy, why would they want to do it?
Yeah.
Now, if we did,
but I feel like there's, to finish this up, Brandon, I do feel like there's a lot of people who cover sports, men and women. I'm not, bashing her because she's a female.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty bad mistake that you move a team up 2 spots who lost to a G6 team.
That's right.
Finish out the year, don't get asked back next year.
Yeah, I mean, because something that important, like I know the 40 and 40 wasn't important for Brown. He had Iowa at 22 and 24, I think.
Dunaway was off that day. The guy had Iowa in twice.
No, I was here. I was here. I think you were off when we first found out about it.
Yeah. Iowa in twice.
But, I mean, if you're sending this out on a national level, it's something that does have a lot of importance in the world of college football, double check it. Edit it. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, it's not. And I would probably turn it down, too, because I just don't think the AP Top 25, it matters more right now than it will the rest of the year.
That's right.
This is the most important AP Top 25 because
up until November, I think it's 3rd, 4th, whatever that first one, the first week in November.
But even then, all
college football selection folks.
That's right. Even then, all it contributes is the number next to the team for the TV ratings, right? I mean, it really ultimately has no meaning.
Yeah.
When I voted, it still had some meaning.
I would rather do it if I was selling insurance. Like, we're so immersed in this, and we talk about it every day, and we love it. But, I don't feel the need to do it.
Yeah, when I voted as well, it was part of the BCS formula.
That's right, yeah. It had meaning.
I mean, it was 1/3 of who made it into the BCS rankings, and I took it probably too serious.
I did too, but I also had some big swings. You hated the way I voted.
I did.
But I would have a lot of big swings in mine, but I don't think I ever did what this girl did. So she's voting again this year, and for you to bring her up, she must have done something again.
No.
Are you just saying she's back?
They just were pointing out everywhere that remember
what region is she in?
I think she's in the state of Florida, but I'm not sure.
Have you even looked at her vote?
I have not. No, she probably did a great job after the mistake.
Well, the Gators are 26 or 27. She's probably got them number 1.
Yeah. I mean, if ever she was going to spend time on one, I would hope it's this one.
Yeah. I'll find out what region she's in.
I can find her real quick. I saw the votes earlier, but I did not pay attention to her.
And I'll tell you, man, we don't know her, but I wouldn't want the headache again if I was her.
Yeah.
She took so much shit
she
last
really
year,
did.
and not that she didn't deserve it, but I'd be like, I'm out.
And hey, how about it? I'd completely forgotten it. And if you said her name, I wouldn't recognize her name. I now know it.
And by the way, you don't get paid to do it.
You do not.
I mean, all the money college football makes, and to Brown's point, and you've made this point before too, it's the ability for ABC and Fox to promote games, make them bigger because of the ranking beside them. So you're actually making people money, giving them a ranking to put the little number beside them.
How many?
You don't even get $5.
What is the total? 60? How many?
69.
And how many are female?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just wondering.
At least one.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that would be bad if she's the only female.
All right, here we go. Haley Sawyer.
Oh, well, say her name.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I forgot we weren't saying her name.
It's like a protest now. Say her name.
Say her name.
Say her name.
I've got to find her. It's not in alphabetical order like you would want it to be if you're going to do something like this, so it's going to take me a second. Here we go. She's got Southern. I remember this. Southern Cal. That's her thing. All right. Ohio State 1, Oregon 2, Texas 3, Notre Dame 4, Georgia 5.
I like it so far.
Yeah,
right.
not a problem.
Yep. Indiana 6.
Yeah.
Miami 7.
Keep rolling.
Oklahoma 8. Ole Miss 9. Texas A&M 10.
Oklahoma a little high for me, but go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, a lot of people had them up there.
UBU Haley.
I mean, she might have just snapshot Phil Stills top 25.
Could have. Texas Tech 11. Alabama 12.
Okay, higher than the masses.
Hey, Bama technically in, right? Or close.
Southern Cal 13. LSU 14. BYU 15. Michigan 16. Tennessee 17. Western Michigan 18. No, I'm screwing with you. Should have Western Michigan.
Lance Taylor.
No, but when you get below 20, that's when you take a couple of wild swings.
You do.
Here.
Well, she went SMU 18, Washington 19, Penn State 20, and then she rounds out her 25 with Utah, Iowa. She's got Iowa in the right spot. She's got them between 25 and 24.
if she's got them there twice.
That's right. She's me if she's got them there twice. All right, I got to find her again here. Iowa, Clemson, Houston, and Louisville.
Yeah,
I mean that's a fine
great
line.
poll.
I don't look at
great poll.
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing egregious there that I see.
I'm a long poll judger, and that's a great poll there by her.
I am shocked that everyone is still sleeping on NC State and Virginia. I am.
You should be hyping. They should let you flip the coin.
Well, I just
at that week 0 NC State Virginia.
No,
game.
I agree though. 20 to 25 should be a little bit of a crapshoot because you're going to see some turnover. You're going to see some teams that aren't ranked. Obviously ranked. We talked about all this in depth yesterday, and I think schedule does matter when you look at that. And nobody. I mean, I'm not talking about just her. I'm talking about looking yesterday in the AP. It looks like hell. I don't even see either one of them.
Yeah, I didn't see a whole lot of NC State or Virginia. You got some Virginia.
Virginia got one vote.
Yeah.
They're at the very, very last team. And then I don't see any NC State. Do you?
I didn't see much, no.
Well, with C.J. Bailey back, man, they're definitely a contender. And when that game was being played in Brazil, I was early to call NC State with the winner. I'm not backing off even in Charlottesville.
The Brazil of Virginia, Charlottesville.
That will be a great game week 0.
Yeah, and I do think the winner has, is right there in the conversation with SMU and Clemson.
They will be in sole possession of first place of the ACC right after that game.
Right out of the gates.
Yeah, it'll be theirs to lose at that point. I'll bend your brains a little bit here. After we hear about our buddy Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys, a little college football brain bender for you here in the opening segment.
Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. That's the place you go when you find any legal situation in your life. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys. Now, likely when I first say Alexander Shunnarah trial attorney, you think personal injury attorney, and I completely understand that. So does Alex. He has done a tremendous job in that arena for a very long time, recovered more than $2 billion for his clients overall, right? Well, how about the fact that he doesn't just handle personal injury? That might surprise you. Bad drug and device claims, fire and storm damage claims, workers' compensation, employment, a host of other claims. Right there under one roof, there's more than 150 attorneys, more than 500 dedicated team members that can help you. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case at Shunnarah.com. Can you answer this question for a chat member?
Maybe.
Because you would know the answer to this. He says, I'm sorry, but were 95% of the people who submitted rankings for the TNR 40 and 40 Alabama fans?
No, they were not.
You do a good job of trying to spread that out. You ask what their allegiance is, right?
We do.
So the perception
do
that
people vote for their allegiance, though?
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean,
but I think you're a little skewed towards it.
We haven't gotten to Alabama yet, is his point.
His
we'll
point,
be at
yes.
number 9.
I mean, that is a good
but
point.
Even when Nick Saban was there, we sometimes had Alabama lower than the AP poll did. This year, we're going to be higher, obviously, than the AP poll because we're at number 9 today. We'll unveil our team a little bit later on. I think the breakdown this year.
And you ask their affiliation, right? Hey, who
I
are you a
did.
fan of?
We did open it up a little bit more online this year with Brooks.
Okay.
Years past, though, I tried to get not equal, but an equal representation of Alabama and Auburn.
Yeah.
Skewed a little different this year. We opened it up to the masses a little bit, but usually it's going to come out about 50% Alabama fans.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So it's not 95%. Whatever.
No.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Okay, here's your mind bender of the day. And when I'm not here, you guys may have covered this last week, but these are little things I think of sometimes that I hope you guys appreciate on the show.
We celebrated the Earth not losing gravity while you were gone. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, we passed that date?
We passed that. Lance brought it up to start the show.
Wow.
Yeah. We all
So
were
you
fine.
didn't even know we were.
You didn't even know we were there. Yeah.
No, but I do remember the story, and I was worried about it.
Yeah, no.
God, I would have been in New York City.
God, why didn't we text him?
Yeah.
Why did we not?
Dunaway, today's the no gravity day.
There's a chance I would have been on,
when we lose gravity.
There is a chance I would have been on a subway.
Oh, I don't.
Underground.
Oh, no, you wouldn't have. You would have been in the hotel room holding on to some shit.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, the second it happened, there was a chance I'd have been in the worst place in the world to lose gravity.
Probably so, yeah. But
I mean,
thankfully,
just
we
how
didn't.
many people would have been floating by me?
I know. Hey,
10 million people in New York
that's
City.
right. Yep.
Counting tourists.
Mhm.
Wow. So here's your mind bender of the day. Maybe you covered it last week. I don't know. Of the Power 4 conferences in college football, give me the conference that is most likely to have a first-time champion, second, third, and the least likely to have a first-time champion. It's a mind bender. One of them's easy. One of them's guaranteed.
Yeah, Miami and ACC. I mean,
ACC.
they've never won it.
Is
so.
that not, but just
Because
even if
you-
it's not Miami.
Yeah, you initially think Texas Tech and the Big 12, but they've actually won a Big 12.
Yeah,
Or at least tied for one.
But the ACC, think about it. Even if it's not Miami, it's going to be SMU. It's going to be Louisville. They haven't won one yet.
Yep.
Cal hasn't won one
He
yet.
would say NC State of Virginia.
Yeah, I don't know about NC State of Virginia if they've won one ever, but those
Oh, it's
you got
true.
you got
Yeah,
three or four right there.
Yeah,
that
they
could.
have won
I
one.
don't think Virginia has. NC State, I think it was back in the early 60s.
Yeah.
So Virginia didn't win it the year them and Georgia Tech. No, I guess Georgia Tech won that game, didn't they?
Yeah.
So they won the conference, yeah.
So ACC easy here because Miami's the favorite, and it's still mind-boggling, but they've never won the ACC championship.
I will point out, Texas has never won an SEC, nor has Oklahoma, nor has Texas A&M, and all three of those teams are supposed to be really good.
That's why the SEC is second.
Yeah, I think they probably are.
Because you have Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Ole Miss has never won
Yeah, I
one.
know.
Or maybe they did back in the day.
Yeah, they've won an SEC at
They've never,
some
since we've
point.
gone to a championship game, no. But they've won one back in the day. But there's three right there, easy contenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Big Ten, really only USC and Washington.
Yeah. Big Ten is going to be fourth in this list, which was my point. With even all the Pac-12 teams you brought in, Oregon's already checked the box.
Yep. And then Indiana did it last
Well,
year.
let's look at the Big 12. Let's see who's done this. Okay, so obviously.
So did Texas Tech tie in 08? Was that technically a tie with them, Texas, and Oklahoma?
They won it last year.
Oh,
yeah, they won it last year.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, BYU
I
is
still
the
wonder.
best chance to be a first-time champion in the Big 12.
Yeah, so real quick, Utah has done it. TCU's done it.
Has Baylor done it?
Baylor has done it. Arizona State has done it. Arizona has not.
No, they haven't.
Arizona's got a shot.
And BYU.
BYU's the best.
BYU.
Yeah,
and
it's your
Houston.
Houston's never done it?
No.
Interesting.
No, not in the Big 12. Houston would have done it in the Southwest Conference.
That's three. And then if you believe in Rich Rod in year two, West Virginia's never done it in the Big 12.
Yeah. But ACC is easy. And then next is probably the SEC. And then the Big 12. And last is the Big 10.
Yeah. I mean, the SEC just because of the loophole. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, that's three pretty good contenders. I don't know if you put that ahead of BYU.
I would put that ahead of BYU.
Yeah, one of
and,
those three.
And Ole Miss, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss may have gotten one back.
Yeah, probably in the
before
60s.
championship.
Missouri. I mean, boy, that would be shocking.
Yeah,
but
Missouri hasn't won one, though. They get a lot of top 25 votes.
they do. They're kind of Iowa. You sandwich them in at 24-25.
Ole Miss has won the SEC. Now, keep in mind, you could at times have three SEC champions.
right.
They could share it. 47, 54, 55, 60, 62, and 63. It has been a minute, but they've won it all those years.
South Carolina's never won it.
Yep. I think their only championship's an ACC championship, ironically.
Yeah.
They have more ACC championships than Miami does.
I mean, some of these teams.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I just found it interesting that the SEC of all the four, other than the ACC, which is almost guaranteed, the ACC is almost guaranteed to have a
Boy,
new champion.
We have crumbled up Clemson
and tossed them aside, haven't we?
Thrown them right in the dumpster and don't even pay attention to them anymore.
We
don't rank them.
But here's the thing: as much as, and I know Pate, we talked about this yesterday. Josh Pate has Clemson a wild scenario for Dabo Swinney possibly being pushed out. Look, as much credit as we give Dabo a decade ago when they were one of two, along with Alabama, the best teams in college football. I mean, he's done a not a good job the last few years because this conference is wide open. Clemson, if teams like if Duke and Virginia can play for it last year, SMU's been to a college football playoff, and I know Clemson was there the same year. Clemson should have this league with Miami dominating.
Clemson actually won the conference championship that year. I mean, he's only 1 year removed from a conference championship and a playoff.
And Florida State, they should shoulder some blade too.
I don't disagree with you. Yeah.
One more. It's not mind-bending, but it'll be sad if this works out. College football this year, brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. That's Greg from Pell City. Hope we get to see Greg and Andrea at our kickoff party a week from Thursday night at Walk-Ons on Highway 280. You need to see Greg on top of your roof is what you need to do. He gives you a free, no-cost roof inspection, whether you've got a new home or maybe like last night, we had a bad wind and thunderstorm blow through. Good to get Greg up there with a free no-cost roof inspection to find out if you had any shingle damage, if there's any fixtures that aren't tightly sealed around the groove that goes up through the roof there to keep water entry points. He'll get up there and inspect that roof. All you have to do is text his number. Just send him a text, 205-542-3531. Say, hey, I want a free no-cost roof inspection because I listened to the next round. StormRestorationRoofing.com is the website, 205-542-3531 for that free no-cost roof inspection. It's locally owned for over 20 years. He and Andrea do a great job of working with your insurance providers to make that easy for you. Storm damage repairs, roof replacements, they do it all. And they're just a good, deep-rooted family business right here in Central Alabama. StormRestorationRoofing.com. If I told you the 12-team playoff, another big thought process here. If I told you the 12-team playoff was Miami out of the ACC, Texas Tech out of the Big 12.
Very predictable.
You haven't surprised me yet.
Notre Dame, Independent,
All right.
Boise State out of the group of six.
All right.
From the SEC, LSU, Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia, no particular order here. And the Big Ten, Ohio State, Oregon, USC, Michigan. How crazy of a 12-team playoff would that be?
Well, I mean, look, it's a lot of great brands, but where's our parity?
Yep.
You know, we talked about all the new teams in the college football playoff last year, Indiana having that incredible year. I mean, where is the parity in that? That's way too predictable for where we are in college football.
I would say the thing that jumped out the most at me when you read through those was Michigan being in it. That's a heck of a job by Kyle Whittingham.
And no Indiana.
And no Indiana.
Yeah.
I've got to find out what happened there.
Yeah, but other than Michigan, Indiana swapping, that, by the way, according to Chris Hummer and John Talty of CBS Sports, that would be the highest paid rosters in college football this year if the highest paid roster
in each conference
won their conference or the independent.
Well, if that does happen, not only – I mean, that's chalk playing out.
That's right.
Then we've got kind of a formula like, okay, well, we know what works. We saw it 2 years ago with Ohio State. They had the highest roster. They won a national championship. The highest 12 rosters in football are here now.
Yeah, money talks is what this would say. And I think it would be a sad moment in sports, but it wouldn't be surprising. I mean, Ohio State, Oregon, lock them in. Michigan and USC seems to be the wild cards a little bit there. LSU, Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia. Obviously no Alabama there. Miami, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, Boise State. That would not be a shocking 12-team playoff. It would play out as the 12 highest-paid rosters. Also ranked was Ole Miss and Tennessee. Alabama didn't even make it on the list. I don't know how many deep they went.
Well, at that point, you have fan bases like Tennessee and Alabama. What do we have to do to get to this number? And then you've got these collectives that are really pushing, and I don't know if that's great for the sport.
I don't either. So save that 12. Now, I did a little nuance there from their list of we know Texas Tech has more resources. They were not mentioned as one of the highest paid.
Yeah, but you have to have the member of that conference.
That's right.
Sure.
That's right. And I just took Boise out of the group of six. I don't just assume Boise has the best NIL.
Might be Memphis.
Maybe Memphis.
Yeah, if you want to throw Memphis in instead of Boise, Memphis might have the best NIL. I don't know. I don't know on that level.
So just a couple of big thoughts there to start the show. We'll get to camp news coming up on the other side. Lance's lock last night. Did you have a play on White Sox Cubs? That's about as entertaining of a regular season baseball game as you could get last night.
Who would think that, going into this season that was going to be one of those series that's a can't miss this late in the season?
It was so intense last night that they had a brawl in the stands, north side, south siders. And I forget which side is you. You're the south side, Forrest, or the north side?
The White Sox are the south side, yes.
South side, okay. The Cubs are the north side. This is a brawl in the stands. This is out in the bleacher seats.
Look at these punk Cubs fans starting this crap.
Man, could you imagine if they were in the same division? I mean, y'all aren't even in the same league and you still fight.
Yep. By the way, both teams, other than the COVID year, both teams haven't made the playoffs since 2008.
Boy, that Cubs fan's getting pummeled.
2008. Both of them look like they're going to make it this year. They played in the World Series against each other in 1906. That'd be a fun World Series.
Oh, wouldn't it ever?
More entertaining, I think, than Mets-Yankees.
Well, I would love to see some of these Chicago fans that try to balance both teams. I know Forrester is seeing them. That absolutely drives me crazy. You cannot be a fan of the Cubs and the White Sox.
Are these
John Cusack is one of these guys that tries to act like he's fans of both.
Yeah, pick a side. Pick a side.
You have to pick a side.
Yeah. So last night, Pete Crow Armstrong, who I think should be the MVP.
Oh, right now, yeah.
No offense to Shohei.
Yeah, Shohei had it looked like in the bag until about a month ago, and then PCA has just exploded.
Home run last night in the 10th, walked it off. What a great moment. 7-5.
By the way, he started the game with a homer, hit a leadoff homer, and then ended the game with a homer.
Yeah, so he, out of the gate, first at bat, home run.
Yep.
And then last at bat, walks it off. And you get the White Sox Cubs tonight, 7 o'clock on TBS. Maybe a play from Lance at lanceslock.com.
Yeah, we did not have a play on that game last night, but maybe tonight. We will have a free play up and available 2 nights away from more NFL preseason action. And, of course, we are now 11 days out from the start of college football. Jump on and win with us this entire year. Free play every day at lanceslock.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for any plumbing, heating, cooling issues, home or business. Make the call today. Adam, Chad, Andrew, they are awaiting that call. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, for 70 years, they've been giving you compassionate care right here in Central Alabama. You can get more details about everything they offer online at urologycentersalabama.com. 205-930-0920, the number to call when it's time to make an appointment. Early detection, though, can save your life when it comes to prostate issues. Prostate cancer is something that impacts so many American families. And early detection with that type of cancer has a great survival success rate. And that's one bar that UCA wants to stay on top of as you move from your 20s to 30s, 30s to 40s, and so much more. But there's different ways your prostate can impact you, and they do more than just prostate health. They cover kidney stones and everything in between, testosterone treatments, ED. They've got it all for you at Urology Centers of Alabama, urologycentersalabama.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
The insurance company called. They offered you a settlement. Sounds good, right? Wrong. They're counting on you not knowing what your case is really worth. They're betting you take pennies on the dollar because you're scared and overwhelmed. Don't fall for it. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys has recovered over $2 billion for going to war with insurance companies that try this every single day. Call 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Free consultation. You pay nothing unless they win.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Hour number 3, later on. I want you to give me 12 teams that were unranked that'll be ranked at the end of the year. We had 12 of 25 that jumped into the poll that weren't in the poll at the end of last year. Jot out 12.
You boys gonna steal a couple of mine?
NC State, Virginia. We wanted to just to get at you. We'll have a 1 and 2.
I wouldn't blame you.
So we'll do that in the 11 o'clock hour on our dry erase board. We'll make that our dry erase board on this Tuesday. Brandon Marcello starts hour 2 of the show. He'll be with us coming up. No Clay today. Clay's on tomorrow. How much can I say about what Clay is there? Can we say that Clay's making an announcement tomorrow?
Yeah, Clay has got something he's working on, and he's working on an article that he is putting out today, and he's like, I'm going to be so busy on Tuesday that I really need to push it to Wednesday, and then when my article comes out, I can kind of talk about it on y'all's show. So who knows what Clay's working on, but he does have some sort of an announcement
Okay,
coming.
so that'll be fun to hear what Clay's working on coming up, but his spot's moved to tomorrow. But Brandon Marcello in his place today from CBS Sports. We'll talk to him to start hour number 2 coming up. This part of the show, as we get to Alabama and Auburn camp, being brought to you today by the wonderful folks right there at Central State Bank.
Central State Bank is the bank that is large enough to meet every need, but small enough to know you. At Central State Bank, I will never not think of T-Bob.
Thank you, T-Bob.
Yeah, I will never not think of him. Central State Bank, a community bank based right here in Central Alabama. 6 locations throughout Central Alabama to serve you. If you've never dealt with a community bank, you don't know what you are missing. The people that are making the decisions that impact your life, everything from buying that first car to opening that first business, they are people that are in your community. They go to your same churches. Their kids go to school with your kids, play at the same ballparks as your kids. You see them in the grocery store. That's the people that are making the decisions that impact your life. Central State Bank, large enough to meet every need you have, small enough to know you. Remember FDIC.
Hey, before we get into football camp, a big congratulations to wife Brittany and Auburn head coach Stephen Pearl. Baby number 2 on the way, due in December. So Laney, the first baby there, the cutie there in between Brittany and Stephen Pearl. I think that's over in Greece with the trip the team took over there.
That is correct.
And then they make the announcement. So hats off to Stephen Pearl and Brittany.
Hope Nellie's got a house sitter and that doesn't get boarded. But
I saw the baby's due in December, you said?
Yeah, late December.
Right in the heat of basketball starting up. That's
well,
going to be
it
a lot
falls
going
right
on.
in between that end of conference, non-conference play right before conference play.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he wouldn't be sleeping anyway. Hell, Stephen would be wide awake anyway.
That's true. He could
studying
go ahead.
film.
Yeah. Go ahead and do the bottle. I'm up anyway.
I'm up anyway,
Yeah.
studying film, trying to figure out how to slow down these SEC teams this year. Speaking of slowing down, our buddy Bucky McMillan, because of this 5-5 rule, picked up a guard transfer from Texas. Jordan Pope is going to wear Bucky McMillan's Texas A&M jersey this year.
Okay.
So I love this.
Yeah.
So these guys, Texas had to move on with their roster because they thought this guy was done. He gets the 5th year, so he can't go back to Texas. So Buck's like, oh, I'll take him.
Yeah. I saved a spot just for this
That's
reason.
right.
Well,
Just
and you
what I
think
got.
about I don't want to call it a ragtag bunch, but I mean, Bucky basically came on and told us how he assembled his roster last year and really didn't have any kind of financial commitment to that roster until, at the 11th hour, and he was able to put something together. And that product, I mean, his style overwhelmed a lot of teams this year, and it's going to be really interesting once he gets his personnel in place.
Yeah, and this kid can play. So good pickup from Bucky. Now back to football. Alabama yesterday. This is Ryan Grubb, offensive coordinator. He was the guy that got to speak to the media yesterday, those that are on the beat at the University of Alabama. And Ryan Grubb, of course, when you haven't named QB1 this deep in, this close to the season, you get asked about it. Here's what the OC in Tuscaloosa said about the QB battle.
I'd say it like this. I said in the meeting room the other day, I think we hit a lull as it was kind of like the look around phase, like what's going on right now. And I think they got through that now. They broke through that with the scrimmage. And I feel like, always coach quarterbacks to be playing with blinders on, just focus on you, the things you need to improve. And I think we lost sight of that a little bit for a few practices, and been really, really impressed, especially today on some move the ball situations where both guys were able to just hone in on the things they need to do better and didn't get stuck when it didn't go perfect, and were able to keep us moving. So we're getting there.
How close is a decision in your mind?
We're close. I mean, we're getting close to game week. So I would say, by next week, we'll have to make that call.
So by next week, they'll probably make the call. One more scrimmage. Eventually, you got to have a starting quarterback.
But you do have the luxury of breaking in, both these guys in against the Pirates. This could be USC 2016 all over again, where you start Blake Barnett and Jalen Hurts comes out of the game, and you're like, that's our guy.
Yeah, to your point, you could start Austin Mack. Almost a tip of the cap for what he's done and everything, if it's really this close. And then you go to Keelon Russell at some point.
And then you just see who play. There are so many different, there's incredible practice players, and once they get on the field and the moment is real, they're not nearly as good. And then you get these practice players that you just can't really tell, and they get out there and you're like, damn, where'd this come from? So maybe one of these guys just clicks. We haven't seen enough reps from either one of these guys to know who's really going to take control.
Do you guys get asked about that quarterback
all the time?
All the time.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure Ryan Grubb knows, to be honest. I don't think that's just coach speak. I don't know that he really knows.
Yeah, in our world, it's almost, hey, how was your Christmas? Like, that's just the obligatory, conversation piece. But I think it's the obligatory conversation piece, but people really want an answer. Like, they really want to know. They're really interested. Like, nobody really cares about your Christmas or how your weekend was.
Yeah, the problem with this becomes week 2 at Kentucky, and for some reason, Alabama's a much better football team than Kentucky, but it's a road game. It's an SEC game. It's week 2. I mean, can you not just see that game playing out where it's a very
I could see 19-13.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I was about to say a very ugly 20-10 game.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I mean, DeVore might as well pack the bags if you lose that one.
Yeah, but can't you
that
see
would be
that
his
being,
worst loss by far?
Oh, by far.
That could just be, hey, man, thank God for Kane Womack's defense. Thank God for that secondary with a couple of picks, and they just shut down. Kentucky got 3 field goals, and Alabama wins at 17-9.
Yeah, I think we're going to finally see the first semblance of a Kentucky offense since Andre Woodson. I mean, it's been 20 years. We just haven't seen good Kentucky offenses. I think sooner or later that will kind of pop, and it probably will be in spurts. Like Mike Leach, when he first came into the league, you saw, week 1, how dominant the offense was against LSU, and then it fell back to the pack. I think you're going to see some inconsistencies with Will Stein, and you just hope you don't get him on one of those days.
Now, he does not have the same personnel. I will say that before I even say the second part of this sentence. He does not have the same personnel. But in case you're wondering who the Kentucky defensive coordinator is, it's Jay Bateman, who was the defensive coordinator for Elko at Texas A&M.
That's right.
So, I mean, they played some pretty good defense at Texas A&M under him. He is obviously coming over with Stein to be the head guy at Kentucky as well. So,
and it's his defense now.
That's right,
under Elko, he was always going to be in that shadow. Now you go with a first-year head coach and Will Stein that's going to be all about the offense. And, hey, look, you've got this. I'm delegating this to you. It's your defense 100%.
Now, different personnel than he had at A&M, but being completely uneducated on this, which I am, and I would assume you two are, if you had to guess of the two sides of the ball, where is the roster better at Kentucky, defense or offense?
Defense.
I think it's probably defense, yeah. So you're at least going to have some guys that Stoops had recruited to play defense that they're coaching. So, I mean, you never know. Kentucky could still have a bit of a tricky defense. See, actually, my concern in that game would be more about defense because I think it'll probably take Stein's offense a few games to get going. And I can't remember who Kentucky opens with, but it's a bad opponent.
Usually an OVC team or Eastern Kentucky.
Or Mack. They play a lot of Mack.
It's generally been a bad opponent. So Kentucky, Youngstown. Thank you, Scott.
State.
Very well done, Scott. Youngstown State.
Not a gimme.
Well, I saw you were going, Jim. I gave the stats on FCS teams beating FBS teams. It almost in the Power 5, Power 4 now. It hasn't happened basically in the NIL era.
Yeah.
Like those things are but I saw an article that had the most 5 likely ones this year, and that was one of them, Youngstown over Kentucky. That'd be a pretty big upset. My point was going to be, for that Kentucky offense, the speed of play between the Youngstown defense and the Alabama defense,
you hope it's light speed.
It's going to be unrecognizable for that Kentucky offense.
Yeah, but a point one of you guys made last week or a couple of weeks ago, anybody that was worth a shit on Youngstown's roster is no longer on Youngstown's roster.
That's right. That's a brand new roster.
Right. Which is why, to your point last week,
you don't get those upsets.
Those upsets aren't going to happen as much. And you've also pulled out North Dakota State.
And Jack State. North Dakota State was 6-4 in their last 10 against Power 5 teams. And Jack State had the second most wins of anybody in FCS against Power 5 teams. And they're both now, they're playing week 0. But they're both now FBS, so you're just not going to get those anymore.
Yeah. So another thing from Ryan Grubb yesterday on Ryan Coleman Williams. He gets asked about what kind of camp RCW has had so far. Here is Ryan Grubb.
I guess we haven't heard about Ryan Coleman Williams in a while.
Oh, my God. He caught, 80-yard drive to end practice, touchdown to finish, unbelievable catch. Enough said. He's having an unbelievable camp. Lucky to coach the kid. He is just an absolute wonder. And if I was talking about Daniel Hill, the next step is RCW, man. He's been a guy that's just been unbelievable. His growth as a person, player, his preparation has been second to nobody on this football team. He comes in here, like during the summer, there was no time off. Guys go home for May. He's right here catching balls on the jugs, all the stuff. So just couldn't be more proud of that guy.
Wow. Boy, Alabama fans will eat that up right there. That's
what
you wanted to hear.
The drops were baffling last year, but I don't think anybody's overly concerned with the receivers. I don't think anybody's overly concerned with the quarterbacks. I think it really comes down to that offensive line and those running backs and the combination. Are you going to be able to run the football this year? Those are really the only questions. And, we brought this up a million times with Ryan Grubb. You go back to Ryan Grubb 2 years ago with Seattle. They missed the playoffs. Clint Kubiak comes in, takes over the offense after he's fired. They run the football, and they win a Super Bowl.
I'll tell you the name that just keeps popping up at Alabama camp in relation to Ryan Coleman Williams, and you see him in some of the videos that are released too, more than Sandarian Morgan, and I'm not saying Sandarian Morgan won't be your number 3 and won't make a huge impact, is Derek Meadows.
Yeah, the Meadows kid. Boy, he's got good size, too.
He does, and he got absolutely blown up in that Missouri game. and it took him so long to get back on the field. He was just never the same after that. But prior to that, they were leaning fairly heavily on him. I mean, your three were obviously Ryan Coleman, Williams, Horton, and Jeremy Bernard.
Right.
But Meadows was in that rotation pretty quickly. That was really before Lottie Brooks had even developed as much. I mean, Meadows was getting a lot of those reps, and boy, he got his bell rung against Missouri, and that slowed him down. But I've seen his name a lot coming out of this count.
6'5", 212.
For Derek Meadows?
Yep. And Rico Scott, he's talented. Noah Rogers from NC State. He's talented. He's dealing with that
injury. Yeah.
But hopefully you get him before the year's done, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got the pieces to be just fine at wide receiver, if not elite.
Well, I think you've got your top two identified.
Yep.
You're looking for who that third guy is going to be, and then I really don't know what you've got at the tight end position.
I will say if what Ryan Grubb said right there is A, honest, which I have no reason to believe it's not, and be indicative of what you'll get in the season from Ryan Coleman Williams. All right, so he's had this great camp, and it's going to translate into the season. I think Alabama fans are far less concerned about the third receiver. Yeah. That'll develop. If you've got Lottie Brooks, what you've seen, and Ryan Coleman Williams anywhere close to what he just described right there, I think you're going to be thrilled if you're an Alabama fan.
Protecting the new quarterback becomes huge as well for that reworked offensive line. All right, before we head to Auburn, and here I'm going to ask a question about Alex Golesh, and we're going to hear a snippet from practice from Coach Golesh. But first, tell us about our wonderful friends at NASCAR. Jim, thank you. I will. NASCAR, you can get tickets right now at Talladega Super Speedway. It's the world's fastest speed track. And you say, Jim, come on, man. They have faster speeds sometimes with Indy cars at places, yes. But if they put the Indy cars on the track at Talladega, they would go so fast because of the high banks that the drivers would black out. They couldn't let them go top speeds at Talladega. The way it's designed, you could put any car out there and break any speed track record. It's the world's fastest speedway. Don't at me. It is the world's fastest speedway. And when the NASCAR cars are there, it's 200+ miles per hour, lined up door handle to door handle, bumper to bumper, and you can be part of the great race, the Yellowwood 500 playoff race coming up in October 23rd through the 25th. The Yellowwood 500's on October 25th. But they got a truck race and then a NASCAR O'Reilly Series race on Friday and Saturday and the big one on Sunday. Be part of it right now. Get your tickets at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Listen to Alex Golesh. This is from a show, War Eagle Plus. So you can get that on the site there, the fan site for Auburn. Raising the Standards, the show, and this should get your orange and blue blood pumping. Listen in.
Hey, let me have your eyes. To a man, let me have your eyes. Do I want it or do I not? Get your mind to a place where I just go. That's what Auburn is. A machine. Mindset. Go finish.
Raising the Standard, you can get that there at the War Eagle Plus. So if I ask you Alex Golesh's biggest obstacle going into this year right now, as we get closer to kickoff, how would you answer that?
October?
The schedule?
I mean, the month of October is a pretty dang big obstacle.
Yeah.
And
but I think the name of that show, Brownie, I know October's schedule, but the name of the show, Raising the Standard, it does seem like from Harsin to what Hugh had there, I mean,
it's just getting the belief back that, hey, we are one of the top teams in the SEC, and they're just they are so far off right now because you think about where Alabama. I mean, people are discounting Alabama, and they're still a top 15 team. Alabama's coming off 11 wins, and people are asking what has happened to this Alabama program. Auburn is in the worst 4-year stretch of the program's history since World War II. That's factual.
I'll give you an obstacle for Auburn, and it's not going to impact every player, especially the one Scott is showing on video right now, Byron Brown, because he's not been around for any of this. But if the first Saturday there in Atlanta, you go to the fourth quarter and you got a 1-2 point lead on Baylor, those are the games that you choked away time and time and time again under Hugh Freeze. And how many players still on that roster in the back of their mind are like, oh, crap, here we go again. Or let's say that you go to the fourth quarter, you got a 1 point lead on Baylor, they drive and score, now you're down. How many players on that roster are like, well, crap, here we are again, and nothing has changed. It's gone from Coach Freeze from some of them, maybe Coach Harsin to Coach Freeze to Coach Golesh, and it's the same story now.
Yeah, Auburn should be fine early on with this schedule. You mentioned that October is the problem, but sooner or later you got to beat some top 25s, and that's coming quick. I mean, that could be as soon as Florida in week 3. I mean, Florida could be
they're very
ranked
close to the top 25 right now. Yeah,
just ask Haley. I would say this. That little clip we showed you, that seemed genuine to me. And if I'd seen Hugh Freeze or Brian Harsin do that, I don't think it would seem as authentic as it did with seeing Alex Golesh.
Well, it's easy to say now because on the other side of both of those guys, they look like frauds.
Yeah. Well, but the Freeze content that Auburn sent out was more of a backwoods Baptist preacher than that.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, that's the content we got from Hugh Freeze. When we got behind-the-scenes Hugh Freeze content, it was him doing the preacher skit. And I don't think you're going to get that out of Golesh.
I just think with Freeze, we believe because we had seen it before at this same level with Ole Miss. By the way, Florida will probably be. I mean, they're going to be 2-0 easily. Yeah, they should be ranked.
Yeah,
and should be into the top 25.
Yeah.
Hey, not only does this not come off like Hugh, but I think there's something in what you can't hear in that clip that we just played was the F-bombs that were taken out of it.
The gaps in the audio. They didn't beep it. They just cut it out.
So you're saying that sounds more like a college football coach than Freeze or Harsin or Malzahn even sometimes.
Than the revival that's
I mean,
it is
a difference. It is a difference. I mean, Auburn used to the content they used to send out from Freeze. You could close your eyes and be like, oh, am I at a Southern Baptist church or am I in a football locker room?
Yeah. Everybody greet your neighbor. We're going to sing
That's right.
Old Rugged Cross.
First, second, and fourth verse. We'll be passing the plate on the fourth verse. You know what to do.
All right. Before we do the viewing menu, tell us about Michelson Laser Vision, Brandon Marcello, more college football at the top of the hour.
Yeah, I got the procedure done in 2003. It has been 23 years ago, and I still have the 2015 vision better than 2020. When I went to see Dr. Mark Michelson, I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. Didn't even realize that. Got the procedure done. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. I still have that 2015 vision. We're about to roll into football season. 12 days out from the college football season. The one thing you don't want is to be looking at the scoreboard, squinting, having to put the contacts in every morning, taking them out every night. It's a pain in the ass, waste of money. Make the phone call that I made. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with that hassle-free consultation. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
I think before I went on vacation, I think you and I had said we were watching it. Is anybody watching Sugar?
I've not seen it.
I actually just started it last night, the first episode I've ever seen.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I mean, I like Colin Farrell a lot.
I'm 2 episodes in, and the second episode, I love the way it's shot. The first episode was good, too.
Well, what's interesting is they do a lot of, and I had no idea that this was part of it. He's a film buff, major movie guy, and so in the first episode, they had a clip from The Big Heat. I just saw The Big Heat for the first time about a month ago. Great film from 1956, I think.
Last night, he had a shot, and you can maybe there's a technical term, Tyler, you can say this, but he was in the mirror looking at himself. Maybe he was shaving, I can't remember. But there's a framed picture, or maybe it's a TV that's over the shoulder. It's a TV. And in that clip, he's got something that's happening as he's pursuing his case right now. And the scene is somebody pulling a pistol and firing a pistol right when he's thinking about the challenge ahead of this case. And it's just little things like that just timed up. It is so well shot and narrated and things. I just really, really good. 2 episodes in. Sugar. It's on Apple.
It's on Apple, yeah.
On Apple. So
Apple's been getting some solid additions to their lineup lately.
Yeah, like to me, Amazon Prime has got the cheese element to it.
Oh yeah.
Apple's got the very strange element to it because I haven't seen this yet with Sugar, but I hear there's a twist that is involved with the plot, and that is part of the ongoing thing with the Colin Farrell character. I haven't seen it yet.
Everybody says I need to get Apple just for that Widow's Peak, Widow's Bay. Widow's Bay.
I thought Widow's Bay was really good, combining comedy and horror, but it kind of I don't know. The end of it just it was good, but it wasn't great.
Gotcha.
I thought it was real, but Matthew Reese, big fan, but Wayne Root, Good cast.
Alrighty. Well, tonight I will be at the theaters. Last night I skipped the mystery horror movie because I just had a bad feeling about it. So I saw the sort of comedy movie about some kids trying to get to a Green Day concert. And that was pretty fun. I'd give it about 3 stars. Only really worth seeing if you're a big Green Day fan, in my opinion.
3 out of 4 stars, though?
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
He's on a 5-star scale.
Okay.
Yep. And tonight there's a special one-night-only screening because it is Texas Chainsaw Day. It's a 4K screening of Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974, where 5 friends head out into rural Texas to visit the grave of a grandfather, and on the way they stumble across what appears to be a deserted house, only to find something sinister within, something armed with a chainsaw.
It's if you ever see the backstory on how that was made by Toby Hooper, really incredible. Like, you know, his because that has become such a cult film. Yeah. And it was really disturbing back in the day because it's really based on Ed Gein.
Yeah, it's the cannibalism aspect and making furniture out of people is straight from Ed Gein case files. But the chainsaw is just because around the time that story came out and was big on the news, Toby Hooper was walking down the street and saw a chainsaw on display at a hardware store next to the electronics store that had the TVs running the story.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, I can combine those two.
Oh, wow.
Max has added Normal to its catalog, which it's fun. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's Bob Odenkirk being an action hero.
He doesn't need to be a badass.
Yeah, either you'll buy it or you won't.
You won't.
And if you don't, then it's okay.
First half of the movie's good when he is figuring out what is going on in the town of Normal, and then when he becomes Bruce Willis, to me doesn't work.
100%. I'll be continuing my Insidious rewatches ahead of the new movie, and then finally, I've got a recommendation for Brown. It's on Netflix. Have you seen Speed?
No, Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, you've never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Yeah,
Dennis
definitely
Hopper.
check it out.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, I'll check it out.
Put it in the queue behind Good Will Hunting.
All right,
but I think you would enjoy
Good Will
Speed.
Hunting, then Speed. I got Good Will Hunting in my queue when you were gone. Never seen that one either.
Wow.
So Good Will Hunting, then Speed. All right, you got it.
As many times as we used "How do you like them apples"? You've never seen that?
Well, that didn't originate in that movie, did it?
I mean, that's the first time I heard it.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. I've heard that saying for a long time. I didn't know that's where that came from.
Does that make you want to watch it more tonight?
Not particularly, no. But I mean, I am going to try to watch it at some point. Yes.
Well, Speed is about this vengeful ex-cop played by Dennis Hopper who rigs an L.A. public bus with a bomb that will explode if the bus goes below 50 miles an hour. SWAT officer Jack Traven, played by Keanu, boards the moving bus and works with a passenger named Annie, played by Sandra Bullock, to keep the vehicle safe and outsmart the bomber.
All right.
It's
just highly believable.
Yeah, it's not a true story, right?
You get to see a bus jump a freeway.
It's pretty great.
All
But
right.
it's one of those movies where if you're flipping through the channels and it's on, you'll have a good time.
I'll try to
watching
watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't love that one. I liked the one where I don't think it was Keanu Reeves, but it was the guy was in a phone booth and he couldn't leave the phone booth.
It was called Phone Booth.
Is that what it's called?
What a weird name for that.
Yeah, Colin Farrell.
Yeah. I like that one
Kiefer
better.
Sutherland, I didn't really
It
like
seemed like
it.
they were out about the same time. Maybe they weren't.
It was a little bit later. I think that was early 2000s, and Speed was 1990.
Yeah, like either 94 or 96 for Speed.
All right.
And then Phone Booth was 2002 for anyone curious. And that's all I got.
That's what Tyler's watching today, brought to you by our friends at Michelson. Inverness Country Club gets us to Brandon Marcello on the other side.
ICCalabama.com, ICCalabama.com. That's the website to learn more about Inverness Country Club. You're looking for a club home in Birmingham, make it Inverness Country Club. Our friend Erin will give you a great tour out there. Just give her a call, 205-991-8608. They've got that brand new tennis and pickleball facility, the best in Birmingham, I'm told, which may make it the best in Alabama, maybe in the Deep South. You can go see it all right there at Inverness Country Club. That is all brand new. See a great course, great clubhouse, but meet the people, man. The people are what makes Inverness. 205-991-8608 or ICCalabama.com.
Facing time for a crime, huh? Got a list of charges looming over your head. 5-0 got your back up against the wall. Them alphabet boys trying to sit you down on that rack. Well, have no fear. The People's Defender is here. Attorney J.B. Brown, powered by Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorney. He meticulously investigates every case and challenges evidence, dedicated to protecting the rights and futures of individuals facing criminal charges. Hit him up now at thepeoplesdefender.com. Thepeoplesdefender.com.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The tripleheader chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Let's get right to Brandon Marcello here. This hour being brought to you in part by our wonderful friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our kickoff party a week from Thursday. I wonder if Brandon knows how old we are.
As a show or just us individually as people?
As a show.
Brandon has been part of this family for a long time. He perhaps may know how old we just turned. Do you know, Brandon?
8 years?
Oh, gosh. No, 5.
Do we look that old? Do we have bags under our eyes?
Bags under our eyes. We've been doing this for 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just started year 6 over the weekend.
On this platform now, together as a show,
right.
17 years. A long time.
Yeah.
Our show you were in high school.
Our show can almost vote. Our show can vote in presidential elections.
That's right.
You were.
Do you still drink bourbon? You ever drink bourbon?
Yeah. In fact, yesterday was my birthday, and my wife got me some Angels Envy. I haven't cracked it open yet, but yeah.
Is that your favorite?
Oh, it's my favorite. Yeah,
it's very, very good.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Last time I had too much bourbon was with you. I've controlled my bourbon.
That was a long
intake.
time ago.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
That
was our
over
third
the
birthday.
weekend.
Yeah. That was our third birthday, I think.
Yeah.
You can follow Brandon on social media at @BMarcello, @BMarcello. Read his work at CBS Sports. See him there at CBS Sports and CBS Sports Network. You, correct me if I'm wrong, you were an AP voter last year. I'm correct on that, right?
I can't remember.
Too much bourbon.
I can't remember. I may have been. I don't remember.
You've done it before. You're
Yes.
experienced in this field. So when you look at the AP poll, like, first of all, I would argue, we just talked about this, the preseason AP poll is the most important it will be all year, because once we get to the playoff polls, nobody pays attention. Did you look at it yesterday and you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this team is there, this is egregious? Or did you just consume it and like, okay, it's another poll?
It's another poll. Also, I think that what I've thought of is just like the top 9 or 10 teams this year are so easy to identify that it doesn't really matter what order they're in the top 10 right now. So it's just like, as long as you have 8 of the top 12 teams that almost everybody kind of thinks is going to be up there or should be up there, your poll's fine. Because everything below number 10 or 11 this year in the preseason just seems like a crapshoot. And I think, it's been like that for the last year or two. And I think that's just a byproduct of what college football's become. And so in a lot of ways, I think it's NIL, the transfer portal and all that stuff's almost made preseason polls less controversial because it's easier to identify those top 10 teams or so.
Let's say that the top 25 from the AP yesterday is exactly how these teams finish. Where do you start where the first fan base is like, it was a disaster of a year?
Oh, man.
Is it Alabama at 13?
No, because Alabama could finish lower.
I'm talking about fan bases, though, what they would say about that. Because at that point, Alabama, USC, BYU, Michigan, all out.
Yeah, I would say Bama because they'd be out. I would say even Texas Tech, even though the fan base is different there, because they would if they win the Big 12, that's different. Let's see. I'm looking down the list. I'm going to be honest with you. Texas. I'm going to say Texas at 5. Because that would mean potentially
no semifinals.
No semifinals. Yeah. They need to get the semifinals at the very least, I think, for the fan base to consider that a success this year. And he talking to some of the players off to the side at SEC Media Days. They're very if we don't win a championship, I'm going to be nice national championship. We're going to be disappointed. The thing that's really kind of held them back, obviously, the last 2 years, as much as we want to focus on Arch Manning, the passing game, the offense, the inconsistencies, it's just they can't beat Georgia. If they beat Georgia, Texas is a much different situation, much different story right now. I was doing a story yesterday. It's actually, I think it's going to go up today about Georgia and Texas, excuse me. And, Texas just can't run the freaking ball against Georgia. They're averaging 27 yards per game against Georgia in the last 3 games, which has been over the last 2 seasons, averaging 1.2 yards per carry. So as much as we're hyper focused on Arch Manning and the legendary name and the legacy name, I should say, they just got to get over that hump with Georgia. And I think that would if they can get that mental block and also just that physical block out of their way, that's a program they'll end up winning a championship as long as if they can beat Georgia. But it's fascinating to me. A year ago, Texas was the number 1 team in the rankings, right?
Yeah, and we
go into this year, they're more talented. The roster's better than I think it was last year, and they're number 5 in the AP poll. And I think that just goes to show you how much we just don't trust Arch Manning and Steve Sarkisian as the media, and for that matter, the coaches.
That was a heck of a turn. They went from preseason number 1 last year to no first place votes this year. With Arch Manning, another year under his belt, they added Cam Coleman, they add Hollywood Smothers. They played better. But 0 first place votes. That was a heck of a turnaround that I noticed yesterday. That was one thing that jumped out at me.
Yeah, and that's actually what my entire story is about. It was no one. I think my headline is that Texas is more talented than ever, but the country still doesn't trust them. And I think it's exactly goes back to what we feel burned. Texas is one of those programs, like when you're burned by them, when your preseason prognostications, like you just completely revolt against them. Until they get back and win, I hate to say it, win a national championship, I think it'll just continue to be that way because they're the program that everybody thinks you should win a national championship like once every 5 to 6 years. And, until they do it, we won't trust them again.
I saw David Hale put out a graphic maybe yesterday, and I know you saw it too because you retweeted a little love for UCLA. But Alabama's the worst when it comes with returning snaps. But Georgia's 14th. But we trust Georgia. Why is that?
By the way, David Hale, best sports writer in America. I'm gonna say right now.
Wow, that's high praise coming from you.
Yeah, I told him that to his face a few weeks ago. I think the reason why with Georgia is because they've been able to develop the talent there and stick around, and they don't have a lot of returning snaps, so to speak. They're also the youngest roster in America this year in all of FBS football. They're the youngest. But that's because if you look at the youngest rosters in America, they're the blue blood programs now.
Wow.
Because they're the ones who go out and recruit high school football still and keep them on campus for their sophomore year and continue to develop them. Georgia, you just trust because they've been in the playoff the last 2 years. They've won back-to-back SEC titles. And yes, the snaps aren't quite returning, but the thought is that they've actually improved themselves at like receiver, despite losing some snaps there. And then you have a veteran quarterback returning. So, I mean, say what you want about, Gunnar Stockton, but, he's a veteran. And you just trust Kirby to do whatever he does on defense. It's the exact opposite of Texas.
Yeah.
You just give him the benefit of the doubt.
When you consider, Brandon Marcello was with us, CBS Sports, when you consider Ohio State's schedule, and it is a daunting one, how surprised would you be? They start number 1 in the AP. How surprised would you be if they're number 1 in the college football playoff ranking as we enter the playoffs?
First one is in November. No, they won't be. No.
Yeah.
Gosh. Well, in fact, I think Texas is going to beat them in week 2 in Austin. It's going to be a close game. I think Texas is going to beat them, which is not going to be necessarily a big hit to Ohio State. They're going to have plenty of opportunities down the stretch. But you got on that schedule before the first playoff rankings, number 22 Iowa, at Iowa, by the way, at Indiana, at USC, and Oregon. I think Oregon is actually the one after the rankings come out. So, I don't think they'll be number 1. No, they'll probably be in the top 5 at that point, but there's people tend to, and I do it too. You look at preseason rankings, people are going, well, that's what you predict at the end of the year, right? Like, no, that's not how preseason rankings work. But a lot of people say, well, you're saying they're going to be the number 1 team at the end. Well, no, not necessarily. But yeah, I mean, Ohio State, I think this year, potentially, you're going to see a big rotation in the top 3 in the rankings, week to week to week. You're going to see some mix-ups from time to time.
Realistically, first-year coach with a better chance of getting to a college football playoff this year, Lane Kiffin or Matt Campbell with Penn State in that schedule?
Yeah, Lane Kiffin. Even though LSU's schedule's so much tougher than Penn State, I think Penn State's still figuring things out and will still be figuring things out after this year there. That roster is pretty much Iowa State East this year, if you look at it and everything they brought in. And they still had some talent returning there, but I still don't have full confidence that Penn State's just going to automatically turn it back around and go win 10 games this year and then make the playoff as one of the last teams in. I'm more confident in LSU to do that because I think LSU is going to be one of those teams that is going to improve week to week. They're going to get better week to week, especially offensively. I think defensively, they're going to come out right out of the gates and look elite defensively. Offensively, I think they're going to take some time. And, but I got full confidence in Lane Kiffin and LSU this year. They're going to make the playoff.
So that means they beat Clemson probably in week
Yes.
1. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they beat them by double digits.
Does these early games matter for the SEC as far as the perception? You went through media days and you've seen all the offseason talk. Oklahoma and Michigan, Ole Miss, Louisville, Ohio State, Texas, and LSU, Clemson. Do those games matter as much in the regular season for conference reputation as much as they used to?
Great question. I think it depends on the load of non-conference games, marquee games in 1 week. So if you have like 2 or 3 big ones in 1 week and the SEC goes over or one and so, that's huge. I think for the SEC, you mentioned all those games right now. Like the only one I feel confident in that the SEC is going to come out on top of is LSU Clemson. Because OU's got to go to Michigan.
That's right.
And Michigan's like one of my dark horse picks to make the playoff this year because I'm a huge believer in Whittingham one, but more so their new offensive coordinator in Beck with Bryce Underwood and developing him and doing some things to really take advantage of him. Louisville, Ole Miss, for example, I think Louisville might end up being, I do think Louisville's the second best team in the ACC this year behind Miami. And Louisville with Jeff Brom, they're always good every single year for 1 or 2 really great performances. But the problem with Brom is that he always has one weird-ass loss every year against some team they should not lose to, and that's what's held them back from actually making the playoff. But that's a dangerous spot for Ole Miss. It really is.
I like the way you described his losses there. But you're right. I mean, like you'll occasionally watch Louisville. You watch them play Miami, and they
lose to Cal.
Yeah, they
lose
like
to Cal.
World beaters, and then they lose to Cal. And you're like, how can you not be a little
at
bit
home?
Yeah, that's true.
Home.
That's true.
Yeah.
They didn't even go to Berkeley and lose to them. Oregon has had as good a talking season as anyone. It seems like every other prediction I see picks Oregon to win this whole thing. Why?
Yeah.
Why will they? Why will they not win this whole thing?
Most talented roster in America, in my opinion. They're super deep. The defense, I think, is going to really take a huge step forward this year. Offensively, with Dante Moore coming back and then the pieces they've got coming back, some of the upgrades they've made, it's just they're my pick. They're my pick to win the national championship this year. And you look at the schedule, it's pretty favorable, about as favorable as it can be for a West Coast team in the Big Ten. Your first big test is on the road at USC, which is just down the coast in late September. And then after that, like the next toughest game is not till Ohio State, when you have to go to Ohio State on November 7th. And then that final month you face, I think it looks like 3 ranked teams right now, but they're top 20-ish teams. You get Michigan at home. You get Washington at home. Your big game you got to circle on the calendar is Ohio State on the road. That's your toughest game, obviously, but there's really nothing else close to that on the schedule as far as road games. USC might be it, with them being in the top 15, and we all know, like, USC just – you never know if you're going to get them when they've got a cold or if they're, out there running at full speed. And even so, can their defense actually stop anybody? Oregon is my pick to win the championship too.
Just because you bring up USC, and look, I know Lincoln Riley's going into year 5, Kalen DeBoer's going into year 3. Who has more pressure this year, Lincoln Riley or Kalen DeBoer?
DeBoer. I think, and it's not necessarily because of wins, losses. I think it's just because of the money that this invested at USC right now, and Lincoln. I also think he's got not to say built-in excuse, but also they're still transitioning in the Big Ten. They're a West Coast team, have to play teams across the country for their conference schedule, and they've been close, but they've also shown improvement. In some ways since those first 2 seasons where they were really, really good. But with DeBoer, it's just, look at USC, for example, after Pete Carroll. Like, you don't want to be the guy who replaces the guy, right? We always say that. And you don't want to be the guy that replaces Nick Saban. And you especially don't want to be the guy that replaces Nick Saban and you make the playoff and you get blown out by any team, and you get blown out by Indiana. And if you go into this year and you miss the playoff, I think You just never know how everybody will react in Tuscaloosa to that. Not the fans, but I'm just talking about the decision makers. And I think it's very hard to project like what's going to happen with Alabama. If you gave me like two scenarios, they win this many or win that many or lose that many. I don't know if I could tell you what'll happen, but I just know that Kalen DeBoer is going to feel a lot of pressure. I think he'll feel more pressure than any coach in America this year, no matter what's going on.
You want to know how well liked you are, first off? John Saber, who used to work with us, and he's still over at Jocks, just texted me. He said, hey, if you haven't wished Marcello a birthday yet, his birthday was yesterday. That's how well liked you are. That we don't even work at the same companies anymore. We're still all friends. And he's like, hey, make sure you wish Marcello a happy birthday. Well, that's friendship right there.
John, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Before you go, your favorite smallest football player you ever watched. Auburn picked up a 5'5" guy yesterday who's 5'6", 140 pounds, Trey Taylor from Troy to Auburn now. Do you have a little fella you used to like to watch?
It's an Auburn guy. I've got a couple. Sean Shivers at Auburn. He has that great photo of him knocking an Alabama player's helmet off at the goal line.
Oh,
yeah. 2019.
Yes.
When Auburn's last win against them. Just a little dude, just so good. I'm trying to remember how big he was. I'm actually looking him up now. I can't find it. Okay. But Sean Shivers, and then another guy that no one's probably ever heard of, Mississippi State cornerback back in 2010 by the name of Corey Broomfield. One of the smaller guys you see on the field, one of the hardest hitters, great player, also just tremendous personality, just incredible guy to talk to. He loved talking to anybody. He also had a little bit of a lisp, and he blew past it all the time and just was so fun to be around. He's one of my favorite people ever to kind of cover, and he was just a little guy, and played his freaking heart out every single Saturday.
Shivers, by the way, listed at 5'7", so that meant he was 5'6", 179, which means he was probably 160. So that's a great pull, Shivers. And I did not remember he was the one that knocked the helmet off at the goal line.
I remember that play. I'm trying to remember the Alabama player. He played the NFL.
Hey, it was Xavier McKinney.
Xavier McKinney. That's right. Played played for the Packers. Good job, Scott. Yeah, I remember that. And I was at the game. I remember the crowd reaction to that. That is hard to believe that was Auburn's last run in the Iron Bowl, by the way. That seems an eternity ago.
They might be still a couple of years away, too.
We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, a few years maybe, potentially.
All right, he is Brandon Marcello, Abby Marcello on social media. See his work at CBS Sports and see him on the CBS Sports Network as well. Belated happy birthday, Brandon, and thank you very much for the time.
All right, thanks, guys.
See ya. Take care, Brandon, with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Yeah, hey, before we do our 40 and 40 today, it's brought to you by our friends at Hoover Toyota. Tell us about Hoover Toyota, LT.
Yeah, I'm speaking from experience, a very, very happy Hoover Toyota customer twice over, back in December of 24, back in October of 25. Absolutely loving the Hoover Toyota experience. They're going to roll out the red carpet program for you. They've done it for 2 decades, not only in Birmingham, but Alabaster and Vestavia as well. They want to make sure they retain you as a customer for life. It all starts when they throw you the keys. They're going to make sure you have an opportunity, that on-site finance department, the sales and parts department, just fantastic people, conveniently located Highway 150 in Hoover. Drop by, check out the incredible inventory. You can also go online today to check out the inventory and on-site finance opportunities, hoovertoyota.com.
All right, we're counting them down all the way to number 1. This is how close to the football season we are. We've only got 8 more shows before we're to week 0. Number 9 today, another SEC team, making it 4 in a row. Here's Texas A&M. The Aggies in at number 9. Still no Alabama yet. Stay tuned. Number 9 for Texas A&M. And for the Aggies, this was the best quote, I think, from all of SEC media days. Here's Mike Elko.
After last year's playoff run, how do you keep this team from becoming satisfied?
I show them our trophy case, and it's empty. And I think they're all very aware of that. And so, I think, listen, we live in a lot of worlds. And so we're obviously happy with the things that we accomplished. We're happy with the direction of our program. But it's also not lost on us that we haven't won the hardware that we're searching for. And so, that gets us into a mindset of growth and getting back to work to go finish this thing a little bit better than we did last year and put ourselves in a better position maybe to compete for some trophies.
Empty trophy case at Texas A&M.
Love it.
LT.
Love it.
So honest.
This guy is the right guy at A&M. Whether he wins a championship or not, we shall see. Third year, obviously year 1 to year 2 improvement. Started 11-0. The unfortunate thing is he loses to Texas again. And then offensively, they completely flame out in the first round of the college football playoff against Miami at home. The interesting thing, Colin Klein now at Kansas State. Holman Wiggins takes over this offense. The offense was really, really good outside of the untimely turnovers from Marcel Reed.
While you're on Wiggins real quick, I want to point out Connor O'Gara, I saw in a story he wrote for Texags, pointed out that based on his research, the best he could tell, Holman Wiggins is the only first-time play caller in the SEC this year. So that's I could not think of another one either. I
mean, Alex Golesh.
No, that has never called plays in their career.
Oh, I got you.
No. I mean in their whole career.
I thought you were just talking about the SEC.
No. Holman Wiggins has never called plays his whole career. I mean, that's the story.
Yeah, and you guys watched A&M's offense last year. It was really, really good. 444 yards per game, 34 points per game. Even with the turnovers from Marcel Reed, who was up and down, you lose your best wide receiver, Casey Concepcion, who is now with the Cleveland Browns. Defense is going to be really, really good again. It always is under Mike Elko. No Georgia, no Ole Miss. That's good. They could be favored 9 games. Sooner or later, they have got to beat Texas, and you host them this year in College Station.
But you do play 6 teams, 6 of them that were ranked yesterday in the AP Top 25 preseason.
So you start 3-0, then you go to LSU, and it gets real. Then after LSU, you've got 3 straight games you should be ranked in, even at Missouri in, week 7, week 6? But you still got to go to Bama. You got to go to Oklahoma. You got Texas. I mean, it's a tough ending.
You get LSU at a really good time, though. We've talked a lot about the fact that you get LSU after the week after they play Ole Miss. You go to Tiger Stadium, and either way, that's going to be an emotionally charged game for LSU. So I think that's a pretty good time to catch them in Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance they start 7-0.
Those last 5 games, though, whether they're favorites or not, those are talented rosters. Alabama, South Carolina. Say what you will about South Carolina, they got some playmakers.
Well, and it's in Columbia. I mean, that's always going to be.
Hey, and by the way, they had you down 30 to 3, 38 to 3, or whatever it was at the half. So
I agree. The last 5 games really challenging, but the first 7, would you guys give me better chance of 5-2 or 7-0?
Better chance of 5-2. I can't find. I mean, better chance 7-0. I'm sorry, I can't find a second loss to make it 5-2.
At Missouri.
Yeah, I would say 6-1 is a possibility, but 7-0 more likely than 5-2.
And 7-0 rolling into Tuscaloosa, boy, that would be interesting.
I mean, all of a sudden, I don't know what else is on October 24th. That might be your biggest game in the country that Saturday.
Yeah, it's flex, so it can go anywhere.
It can go anywhere. It could be prime time, but I don't know what else the national schedule holds that day. But if they're undefeated, playing Alabama, that is going to be a massive game.
I mean, they get after the quarterback, 43 sacks. They had the best third down defense in college football. If you've got the best third down defense in college football, you're winning a lot of games. And the defense, to me, under Mike Elko, is just going to continue to be it's going to be the strong suit. And this is just going to depend if Marcel Reed can jump a letter grade. I said this a couple of weeks ago.
You did.
If he can jump a letter grade and go from a C+ to a B+, this team can make a deep run this year.
Do not trust him, though. I don't
think
Marcel
a lot of people
Reed.
do.
9th best returning QBR in college football is Marcel Reed. The number 10 guy is Byron Brown.
Yeah. And that's a stat, obviously, and stats, some would say stats are for losers. Stats can lie to you. I just too often saw Marcel Reed first half against South Carolina, basically the entire game against Miami in the playoffs. Too often saw Marcel Reed just play bad football.
Well, and they would struggle at times, and then Casey Concepcion would have a big play. Again, now that he's gone, and you got to replace 4 starters on that offensive line with a new offensive coordinator, there are more questions than I feel answers. You got the answers on the defensive side of the ball. The offense is kind of in flux right now, and I'll be really interested to see how it rolls out.
Yeah, now I will say where Marcel Reed – I mean, you say he had a good game at Notre Dame. He threw for 360 yards, but at Notre Dame, he was 17 of 37. I mean, he didn't even complete half his passes, but he just hit some big ones for 360 and obviously made the play at the end there.
A lot of those, by the way, if you remember that game, was receivers making the catch and outrunning everybody.
Yes.
And that was another one of those moments where I guess Miami would have been out if Notre Dame ends up winning that game. Notre Dame's in.
Yeah.
A&M's still in because their second loss would have been absorbed against Texas. They would have missed the SEC championship, but at 10-2 they would have gotten.
Yeah,
it.
Marcel Reed's lasting impression though: 0 touchdowns, 4 picks in his last 2 games at Texas and against Miami.
You know,
Go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say 180 passing against Texas and just 237 against Miami. That's the football that worries you about Marcel Reed.
Yeah,
and when all the chips were down in those 2 games,
November and December against the better teams. That's when he's not been his best.
And with all the chips down, and already earlier in that month had that stinker of a first half against South Carolina. So really, the whole month of November, Marcel Reed played bad football, and that's what worries you, I think, about this team.
Yeah, I don't know if Mario Cristobal sold his soul or not, but you look at everything that broke right for them to get into the playoffs, and now for him to be where he is. I mean, SMU to lose at Cal, Duke to win an ACC championship. A&M to get the controversial call to beat Notre Dame. I mean, there were so many things that stacked up.
And then the Saturday, and I'm dinging Marcel Reed for his performance against Miami, but if you guys will remember, it was such a windy day. Like, field goals were a problem. Throwing the football was a problem that day.
Yeah, I think Randy Bond missed 3 kicks, did he not?
I think he did. I mean, that was a mess of a game for Texas A&M.
Short ones, in fact. Texas A&M, they'll come back probably in 4 downs with at least one question in our next segment. As we continue on halfway through the show now, being brought to you by our friends at Crane U. LT, tell us about Crane U.
Yeah, if you're at that crossroads right now in a career trying to figure out what exactly am I going to do, our friends at Crane U, they can help you out. They're your all-in-one destination for Crane certification success. They will guide you through every single step of the process, from the comprehensive prep, both in and out of the classroom, to ensure you're fully equipped for even the toughest exams. Then they're going to streamline your experience by administering both written and hands-on tests right there at their facility in Leeds, Alabama, so you can get certified with confidence and convenience. If you're curious about a career in the crane industry, the first big step is getting certified and becoming compliant. Crane U is here to guide you every step of the way. Inspections, training, certifications, whatever you need, Crane U's got it handled. For more information, craneu.com. That is craneu.com.
And our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. That's Leslie and her board-certified team there, ready to help you out. All right, so you've tried all summer to drop some weight, and it just hasn't happened, or hasn't happened fast enough for you. Or maybe you have enjoyed your summer and you overate and you just enjoyed it, and now you put on 10, 15 pounds, you want to lose it. That's why Way to Wellness is there for you. Leslie and her team can help you a variety of ways to help, and you can see them all at the website at planforme.com. Planforme.com. They have the injection therapy that is so helpful for weight loss. So many people are doing it. Meal replacements, meal plans. I got protein bars to keep from bad snacking. There's a million ways to help you jumpstart your weight loss, and they will do it for you. Planforme.com. There's no contracts. There's no sign-up fee, and your first consultation is free. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
You know, sometimes injury attorneys get a bad rep, being called ambulance chasers, showing up to the accident scene before the EMTs get there. At Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, this ain't that. We get enough cardio, no need to chase ambulances. Look, if you're injured in any type of accident, don't accept a dime from the insurance company. Hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or AlexWins.law.
Call me, Alabama. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations: Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Back with you on The Next Round. NFL football preseason week 2 goes Thursday. Roger Goodell finally said the thing that we knew he was going to say eventually.
So dumb.
He says there will be international franchises, NFL teams. He made it plural. One day, someday. Didn't put a timeline on it, but he made it sound like someday there'll be multiple international teams.
You hear every single player and coach bitch about going over and playing these games. Now, I don't know if he's talking about a team in Mexico where the travel wouldn't be nearly as bad.
Or
Canada. Yeah, if you've got a bordering country. But if you're talking about literally having a European team, first of all, the fan base will be the fan base, but getting free agents, impossible. Getting elite coaches, I would think, would be impossible too. And then it affects the other teams in the division. Like, who gets saddled with having to play London? London's in your division, so you got to go over there every single year.
Well, that's why I thought the word NFL teams was important.
They may do a whole division.
Would they do 4 teams?
Like a European division, basically?
Yep.
Boy, then you are saturating the product, because then at that point you go from, I guess you could contract, somebody like Jacksonville, give me another team you might contract.
That's always been the rumor, is Jacksonville would be the team that got moved to London.
Yeah, but even if you contracted them and went 34 teams, I mean, to put another 100 players out there, I don't know. I just think it's a bad move. Goodell's done, a lot good, some bad.
This wouldn't be him, though. This would be the other owners. Oh, it'll be a money grab.
Yeah, he's just
money. That's what I'm saying. It's all about money.
Yeah, he's the face of the owners right now. The only reason he's talking about this is that they think it's a good idea. My biggest concern, if I am that franchise, is free agency. Because to your point, as bad as the players hate it, how much does that hurt me in free agency? Like,
if you're a 28-year-old stud receiver and you just signed your second big NFL deal and you have got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, you're newly married, your ass doesn't want to go over and play in one of these cities.
Would I rather sign as a free agent with the Carolina Panthers or the London Jaguars? I'd rather sign with the Carolina Panthers.
Well,
I'll take less money, probably, in fact.
It used to hurt the Montreal Expos when they had a baseball team. It definitely hurts the Toronto Raptors.
Well, I mean, I think
and that's just Canada.
I think there's some tax breaks on some of these situations, but yeah, I mean what is Toronto to New York? Is it even a 30-minute flight?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's basically across the line
state,
from Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially you're in Buffalo Bills territory. You know, the Miami franchises, Dolphins, Heat, Marlins have always done well in free agency because of that. You know, you don't have state taxes, and people like the idea, at least, of living in Miami. I don't know if it pays off for them, but they like the idea of the South Beach life. I just don't see you getting that with a European franchise or a Mexican franchise or even Toronto. And I would look at Toronto and say, if they're passionate football fans in Toronto, they're driving across the border and going to Bills games. I mean, it's literally next door. I've done it.
I watched the two Escobars again last night. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, 30 for 30. And there was just nothing on that I was interested in. It was late at night. I got a little summer cold going on here. So I turned on the two Escobars again because it had been a long time since I'd watched it. And
you've seen Good Will Hunting, right?
Yeah, I have. The cartels in Colombian soccer at the time, Pablo Escobar, obviously the most famous. They even called it narco soccer. The cartels were so involved in professional soccer at the time in South America, they called it narcos soccer. There's no way we can put a franchise in Mexico.
Well,
there's just no way.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong about this? And please do correct me if I am. When the NFL teams play in Mexico City, the annual game in Mexico City, don't they have to have increased security measures for those teams in Mexico City? Am I incorrect on that? I think I remember reading those stories.
Yeah, you absolutely have to.
Just the fear of kidnapping.
That is one of the most dangerous countries in the world.
So the idea of putting a 365-day-a-year franchise there seems remote to me. So I think we can probably take that one off the board.
Yeah.
Canada.
It would be Europe. It'd be 4 European teams or 2 European
teams. But Canada, you do get, like, back to the free agency, you do get, for the higher tax bracket, you get a much lower the percentage that you get taxed in Canada is lower than the top tax bracket in the United States.
But you're also limited market size on the markets you can choose in Canada. And if I am not mistaken, there's this horn of Canada that is basically Montreal, Toronto, and right along the United States border where like 90% of the Canadian population lives in that little area.
That's right. Basically from Detroit to Buffalo.
Basically Detroit to Buffalo and then north to Montreal. That little triangle right there is like where 90% of the population in Canada lives.
Yep.
You've got this entire nation that nobody lives in most of it. So you're going to put the franchise there. You think it's going to work in Montreal? Toronto is basically Buffalo, so I really think Europe.
Yeah, if I'm Buffalo with this new stadium, I'm kind of pissed if Toronto has a franchise.
Exactly. So I'm thinking either
it has always been believed that Buffalo could block a team in Toronto because of the space.
Right. So I'm thinking it's either Europe or the Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they've played. Well, you're about to go play in Australia. Your team is, but I don't think they'd put one there. That'd be impossible.
No, it's impossible to travel.
Well, and Vancouver would be tough. I mean, Seattle. You talk about teams that travel the most miles. Seattle's always up there.
Yeah. Yeah. I would much rather see teams in Austin, in Portland.
I was going to ask
Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I was going to ask you United States markets you think would support an NFL franchise.
Yeah, I'd love to see good NFL teams in Austin, Salt Lake City, Portland, Atlanta.
I mean, San Antonio could support.
Got it. There's no way you go Austin, though. Jerry Jones it'd be over his dead body before you'd put a team in Austin.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to college football. Let's do the spotlight. Tyler, if you will, man, hit it.
The College Football Spotlight.
It's presented by Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys. Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys. He is a Birmingham guy. Birmingham born and bred. Grew up in Birmingham. Went to school at UAB. When it came time to start a world-renowned legal practice, you could have done it anywhere. This guy's recovered $2 billion. That works in any market. He decided, I'm going to do it right here in Birmingham, Alabama, my hometown. That is what you get with Alexander Shunnarah. Hometown guy taking care of hometown people. You can see more at Shunnarah.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shunnarah.com. Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys.
Before we do 4 downs, here's our spotlight today. I mentioned the QBR there for Marcel Reed and Byron Brown, 9th and 10th best returning QBRs in college football. Marcel Reed, 77.9. Byron Brown, 77.8. These are ESPN stats here. Can you guys guess the other 8? 8 quarterbacks returning with the best QBR rating.
Okay, give me the ones you just gave me again.
I gave you Marcel Reed, who is 9th, and Byron Brown of Auburn, who is 10th.
You want to go back and forth here, Lance, and just pick?
Yeah, we're just going SEC?
Nope, this is in college football.
Yeah. Do you want to start, Brown?
I'll say Darian Mensah is in the top 10.
Darian Mensah is number 8, 78.0. So your top 7 is left.
I know Julian Sayin is.
Yeah, got to be.
Julian Sayin is number 2, 89.6. Brown, you always screw up on the yin yang, and when it's back to you, you always get a buzzer.
I want to say Josh Hoover, but I think his interceptions are going to hurt this, so it's not going to be Josh Hoover. I'm going to go C.J. Bailey, NC State.
C.J. Bailey, Brownie, is number 7.
How about that?
I'll go another C.J. Carr.
C.J. Carr is number 5.
Dante Moore, Oregon.
Not on
the first miss. I went with the guy that might be the number 1 overall draft pick.
That's right. He may be.
He may be your number 1 pick.
He may be the best.
I mean,
the best guy.
Trinidad Chambliss has got to be on this.
Trinidad Chambliss is number 3.
Yeah, I'm out. So if you want to give me the rest of the list,
let's go. Is Jaden Maeva on there?
He is number 1, 91.2.
I mean, Lance, if Lincoln Riley can't win the national championship with the number 1 QBR ranking,
Devin Dampier on there?
He is. Here's the list: Maeva, 91.2; Sayin, 89.6; Trinidad, 86.0; Gunnar Stockton, 85.8.
Just forget about it.
No respect.
You say that all the time, and you didn't even say his name.
Yep. C.J. Carr, Devin Dampier, C.J. Bailey, Mensah, Marcel Reed, Byron Brown from ESPN.
Yeah, just because you're the leader in QBR doesn't mean that it equates to All-American status. But I asked this somebody a few weeks ago on our show, and I forgot who it was. If Maeva is the first-team All-Big Ten quarterback, what do you guys think that means?
I mean, I would like to say it means.
Well, I think 8 of those 10 are realistic. I mean, you take out NC State and Auburn, 8 of those 10, I think we expect them to be in the playoffs.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if that's above Sayin and Dante Moore and Josh Hoover.
Here's what I would say, Lance. You would automatically say that means they're at least in the playoffs. But with Lincoln Riley, I can't depend on that. Because he could have a great offense, and I know Gary Patterson's the defensive coordinator.
Caleb Williams won a Heisman Trophy, and they didn't make the playoffs.
You can't depend on Lincoln Riley enough. Now, Gary Patterson could change that, but we've heard that about these other defensive coordinators too. You can't depend enough on Lincoln Riley that they would automatically be 10-2 if he's your first. Because to your point, again, Caleb Williams won the Heisman, and where'd that get them? They were in the Holiday Bowl, weren't they? Am I right about that?
Yeah.
I think. I mean, that's with the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. You were in the Holiday Bowl.
I talked to somebody yesterday that is in the know at the USC program, and they said that Lincoln, obviously, he plans on being there for a long time, but he is going back and recruiting like the Kyler Murray and the Baker Mayfield, the smaller quarterback, the more athletic quarterback. So his next 2 signees are going to be smaller. Like Maeva is 6'4". Like the last Miller Moss, these guys have been bigger quarterbacks. He's going back small now, which I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, quarterbacks, 2 5-stars over the last couple of days picking their school for 2028. 5-star quarterback Donald Tabron, Texas A&M, and 5-star quarterback Christopher Vargas, Ohio State, for the 2028 class. Those are 5-star guys. Those are elite quarterbacks.
Not shocked at Ohio State. A&M is interesting. If again, I don't think
they're recruiting.
They are, and I don't think they've got a 5-star quarterback currently in Marcel Reed. But if they can ever get one to match up with that defense that Elko has.
Before we do 4 downs, tell us about the big boiling and bragging event that's coming up this weekend that gets our college football season unofficially kicked off.
Yeah, it is the first college tailgate party of the season. It's coming up this Saturday night, the 22nd, from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in Crestline Village, right near the O'Neill Library in Mountain Brook. It is bowling and bragging. I've been part of this for the last 12 years. The annual event benefits, critical care transport team at Children's of Alabama. For more information, visit bowlingandbragging.org. There's going to be music. There's going to be food. There's going to be tailgates. The majority of the SEC will be represented at this.
There's
the
a rambling wreck. Georgia Tech right there.
Georgia Tech was there last year. Very interesting to see the different tailgates that are out there, and they've got food, drink. It's just a lot of fun. And again, for a great cause, the critical care transport team at Children's of Alabama. Again, for more information, visit bowlingandbragging.org.
4 Downs time, brought to you by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt.
Central Alabama is the place you see when you're out riding the roads of Alabama. The people that are doing the paving projects, it's often Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. Central Alabama does those big federal jobs. They do the state jobs. They do the local jobs. They do all those, but that doesn't indicate that they can't do your job at Central Alabama. It was, actually. Central Alabama Asphalt. They do the parking lots. They do the parking pads. They do the driveways in your house at Central Alabama Asphalt. Same crews, same no excuse standards, no matter the size of the job. From highways to neighborhoods, jobs big or small, get your estimate at 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or centralalabamaasphalt.com. Let's do 4 Downs,
Hey,
Tyler.
we're having a good show, Brown. Why don't you join us?
Let's do 4 Downs.
First down.
Okay, what happens first? Texas A&M wins their first ever SEC championship, or the Texas Longhorns win a national championship?
It is, when Brandon said that, I immediately thought, it was weird yesterday that Texas got no first place votes. But then when Brandon pointed out, they were the number 1 team in the nation last year. And year to year,
that's on us. That's not on Texas. That was our fault.
No, but I'm saying that's year to year, the American voter basically saying, I trusted Sark last year, and I don't trust him this year. I mean, look how big a flip that is.
How can you trust Sark?
But they're more talented this year than where you voted them last year. It's 100% a referendum on Sark.
Yeah, look, I mean, they've got so much talent. It's going to be hard for them to not win at least 9 games.
We have made Mario Cristobal into a coach he has never proven to be based on the run last year. Why do I believe Sark could have that same run? I don't. I'll go A&M.
This is the hardest regular season schedule that Texas has ever played.
It's probably true.
I do think Arch is going to be really, really good.
I do too. I think Kim Coleman is too.
Seven top 25 preseason teams on Texas's schedule. Only Kentucky and Arkansas ties them.
Sark will find a way to lose a couple of games, though. I think it's going to be they're going to be 10-2 or 9-3. There's a good chance they get at 9-3. I mean, coming off 9-3 last year, I think there's really good chance.
Yeah. I think they're a playoff team, but to go win it all, I'm going to go Texas A&M wins an SEC championship first. Could be this year.
Second down.
Both Christian Slater and Edward Norton are 57 years old
Real
each.
quickly, if you just went on who wins their next national championship first, A&M or Texas, would you go A&M?
I mean, look, Elko to me is light years the better overall coach.
And the way he's recruiting and everything?
I don't know, though. I've seen Texas do it.
I've seen Texas lift a trophy once in my lifetime. And even Mike Elko will tell you, you know what we got at A&M? An empty trophy case.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could flip them, if Elko took over Texas, I'd feel really good about it.
Didn't it? It went that way in baseball, didn't it? The guy left A&M, went to Texas.
One of the greatest lines ever uttered by a caller on the Jocks Roundtable back in the days was right before.
First-time caller, long-time listener?
Maybe so. Alabama and Georgia were playing one another for the national championship in 2017. And keep in mind, Georgia had not won the national championship to that point. They had not, gotten to the mountaintop under Kirby. And you asked the question, I think, like Auburn fans, who are you pulling for in this? You got Alabama and Georgia, who you both hate. And one guy called in, I'll never forget, and he goes, Alabama is arrogant as they can be. He said, but at least they've earned it. He said, Georgia has Alabama's arrogance and Ole Miss's trophy case.
Yeah. And I always believed at that point, Auburn, I don't know how Forrester felt about this, it made the most sense for them to pull heavy for Alabama.
Yeah.
Like, let's just keep Georgia completely out of this.
The last thing you wanted was 2 teams that you have to play being national championship teams. But anyway, I would say that of A&M, that's kind of true. They have, to that caller's point, Alabama's arrogance and Ole Miss's trophy case.
Yeah, Tyler, feel free to chime in. But again, Christian Slater, 57, Edward Norton, 57, better career. To me, somewhat easy. Christian Slater's had the longer career.
Okay, Christian Slater was in the give me 2, make it 2.
No, that's Point Break.
Not in Point
No,
Break.
you're thinking of
That's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Utah.
Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
Yeah, Christian Slater, Young Guns 2, Gleaming the Cube way back in the day. Mr. Robot,
Ed Norton.
Interview with a Vampire.
Ed Norton for me.
Yeah, Ed Norton for me as well.
Yeah, it's more select roles like The Invite. Ed Norton's really good in The Invite.
Yeah.
As
Fight
Hulk.
Club, iconic.
A movie I like that I think gets panned a lot is Italian, the Italian Job, and I
love
thought
that
Ed
one.
Norton was fantastic in that.
Yeah.
He's the villain in that movie.
Primal Fear is his best, probably.
That's where he's the schizophrenic kid.
Yeah, with Richard
that
Gere.
gets molested by the priest.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
the movie, though.
That's the word. I mean, he dices that priest up pretty good. He's really, really good in that.
That's eye for an eye.
Is it The Score where he's like a
with
janitor or pretending to be
Marlon
disabled?
Brando. Yep, he's really good in that. I thought The People versus Larry
I
Flint
think
is
Ed
Larry
Norton-
Flint's attorney.
Ed Norton's your answer.
Yeah, I
Better
mean,
career.
in Rounders, I mean, quality roles. Yeah.
And before Mark Ruffalo took over the role of Incredible Hulk, I really liked Edward Norton in that role.
Interesting.
I never knew he was the Incredible Hulk.
Ruffalo,
you've had
it's
three
in
of
the
them.
most recent Spider-Man.
Eric
I saw.
Bana, Norton, and Ruffalo.
Yep.
Third down.
This is weird because yesterday he was on our 4 downs, and I didn't realize it's his birthday today. But Robert Redford would have been 90.
2 days ago.
If I asked you Robert Redford or Robert Plant,
Oh.
whose career would you rather have? I'm not going to ask you better career because I think Robert Redford does have the better career because, Plant's done a lot of solo stuff.
Forrester does not like that.
What don't you like, Forrester?
He likes Robert Plant.
Robert Plant.
Oh, look, I think he's one of the best front men ever, one of the most amazing ranges, the most iconic band of all time.
But I'd rather have Robert Redford's career
I
because
think I had two.
you don't work as hard as
That's
I mean
right.
to go out and play those concerts every night.
Being on the road, like at least if he's in the movies, he goes back to his home in Malibu or
I just
whatever.
think the longevity of
You say that as if Robert Plant would want to be just hanging out at home.
Well, maybe he wouldn't, but I would.
Yeah,
That's why I would take Robert
Zeppelin
Redford's
had a decade.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, they sold their souls and shit went off the rails. And when you look at the tragedy involved with all of those guys, really bad stuff, I would rather have been Robert Plant in the moment. But I think the better career, unfortunately, for Robert Plant is Robert
instantly
Redford.
you think, okay, the rock star life, backstage, any woman I want, blah, 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 blah. Robert Redford had all that too.
Yeah, he just had it at his house. He didn't have to travel the world.
Yeah, but I
for
think
it.
he worked a lot less for it.
That's
but,
right.
But there's more responsibility with that. I think you can go out, you can wake up with your shirt off on any couch in the world. It's expected. Like there had to be some semblance of organization and responsibility from Robert Redford.
100%. He's got to make call times.
Such a thought process.
If he doesn't make call times, he doesn't get called back because you're wasting money.
I mean, how many times do you think somebody was barefoot running down the hall in whatever hotel Robert Plant was at?
It was
All
every
of the
night.
time.
It was every night. Yes.
Yeah, but it was happening in my mansion if I'm Robert Redford at my house.
I mean, it was happening in Robert Plant's too. I mean, it's just like real quick.
My bad.
Charles Barkley can get away with things that 99% of other media
Correct.
members can't, right?
Yes.
Like that's the thing. Like Robert Plant, anything he does, okay, you just get free
he's
pass.
Robert Plant, yeah.
Robert Redford would be like, man, that's a dirty old man.
Yeah, bands these days do not have the same grace. You can't
Well,
destroy
social
hotel
media, yeah.
rooms.
It's
and,
more known now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
do all that sort of stuff.
and
People
by-
just be like, "Wow, you're a jerk." There's a lot of
No, it
people
was
who
cool.
aren't getting paid
So
very
they had-
much that have to clean that up now.
At the hotel safe, Led Zeppelin's their manager would carry like massive amounts of cash because at the end of a stay, they'd be like, man, Jason Bonham or John Bonham has done $100,000 worth of damage, and they just have to freaking count it out.
Yep, got to replace whole floors.
Yeah.
Well, but see now with travel, if you're to Led Zeppelin's status nowadays,
Peter Grant was a guy.
You would just fly in for the concert and fly back
Oh,
home.
yeah.
You
They'd
don't
fly
even,
private.
You don't even
Yeah.
stay. You don't even stay in
No,
the
that's
city
right.
sometimes.
They
Well, I
didn't
think
want-
Led Zeppelin was like maybe the first band or one of the first bands to get their own private plane.
Yeah, they were.
And then they like customized it with custom decals and all
Yeah,
that.
the Starship. And they said the biggest mistake they made were, the wives would get to travel on one leg of the tour. And they were like, it was miserable. Nobody was themselves. And they're like, once the wives were gone, man, it was on in the Starship.
4th down.
Patrick Swayze, the late Patrick Swayze, would have been 74 years old today. If I asked you, ultimately, better career, Patrick Swayze or Pat Mahomes?
Swayze.
All due respect to Swayze.
Yeah,
Mahomes. I mean, we're at the point we're trashing Mahomes. Why are we doing that?
Who's trashing Mahomes? I saw some idiot executives have got him the best quarterback in football right now.
Yeah, on the athletic poll. I remember that.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it's Swayze.
We still talk about the scene from Ghost. We talk about Roadhouse. We talk about Point Break. All of these years later, are you guys going to be talking about Pat Mahomes 35, 40 years from now?
He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, right?
We talk about Johnny Unitas and Joe Namath and Kenny Stabler.
I think we'll talk in Pat Mahomes terms more John Elway-ish.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think in 100 years, people will still be talking about Patrick Swayze.
Oh, no. In 100 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Patrick Swayze made a career off of cheese. Let's just be honest about this. He was
not arguing that.
He was beloved because of cheese. Pat Mahomes made a career off being the best quarterback of an era. This is pretty easy.
He had 3 Super Bowl championships already, 2-time MVP.
This is easy. Easily Patrick Mahomes.
Swayze was a world-class dancer, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
A world-class, they said he
cheese.
could have been a championship fighter.
I'm sure he could have been.
It's Mahomes and not even close.
Yeah, I agree.
mean, you can get rid of a lot of Swayze's film roles, to be honest, and I think just the Chippendales skit
was very good.
With
Chris
him
Farley.
and Chris Farley will live
fantastic.
on longer than Mahomes' career.
Fantastic, yes.
Yeah. I mean, technically, Mahomes' better career than Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
No, I mean, there was a minute. You guys remember this? After he won his 3rd Super Bowl, will he be the greatest of all time? Will he overtake Tom Brady?
He's not going to reach Brady, but I do think he will pass Joe Montana, who I guess people consider second best of all time. I don't know.
4 Super Bowls. Mahomes has 3 already.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mahomes will win another
Maybe
one.
not.
He's already got 3.
Yeah.
All right, that's our 4 downs today. Another hour of the show coming up, being brought to you by our friends at Hoover Toyota. Tell us again about hoovertoyota.com. Get those inventories. I tell you, a golf course, when I was there on Sunday, I pulled my truck in, and there was 2 Tundras to my left, 2 Tundras to my right.
Yeah, our man.
Or you were stuck in the middle with you.
Our man Luke, our new sales guy. He's in a Toyota truck.
Yeah.
I'm in the Toyota. Daughter's in the Toyota. Man, there's a lot of Toyotas out there. It's because of the reliability, the safety. They're going to hold their value. For more information, you could stop in, see them right there on Highway 150, where they're going to roll the red carpet program out for you. When you see Scott Peoples or Kim or Harold, any of the fine folks there, tell them the Next Round sent you to view the inventory, new or pre-owned, and to learn more about the on-site finance department, hoovertoyota.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Dump trucks, delivery vans, tankers, 18-wheelers, 35 types of commercial vehicles share the road with you every day. When one hits you, trust me, the company's lawyers are already moving. You should be too. Over $2 billion recovered. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. Don't wait. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys. 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The tripleheader chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
This hour of the show brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. It is tailgating season again. I saw somebody asking, do you really tailgate? It was our friend Chloe. She lives down in Auburn now. She was asking, do you really tailgate anymore? Or do you just rent the tents and the tables and somebody else caters it for you? Well, if you still really tailgate, then you go by Sterling's Place and get the fried chicken that's brined overnight, cooked to order, juicy to the bone, the hand-cut chicken fingers, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, all those things laid out into a pan. You can just take them to go, get bunches of them, and take them to that tailgate. Even if it's under a rented tent on a rented table at a rented spot on a tailgate, the food makes the tailgate, and you can have a great experience with our friends at Champy's. But they're open for lunch and for dinner as well. It's a destination location. If you got some Yankees in town from up north, take them and show them what good Southern eating's like right there at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew. In a second, we're going to show you 12 teams that are not ranked in the top 25 that we think will be ranked at the end of the year, or the best chance to be ranked. Last year, 12 of the 25 preseason teams were not ranked at the end of the year. So we're going to get to that. But I want to give you another. Listen, I know it gets sickening how much we love Jon Sumrall.
We do, though.
Give me cut 7, Tyler, if you will. He says things that I think we all believe. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
That when, like, this is the way I think we all want our coach to really believe. Listen, Florida's introduced, they've got a couple of different uniform combinations, and they've introduced a couple of tweaks this year, including the Steve Spurrier 1966 throwback uniform they're going to wear again this year. Sumrall got asked about that this week, and he gave our 100% truthful, honest answer that we respect him for.
As long as we keep it orange, blue, white, I'm good. I don't have any desire to wear those green alligator uniforms that were worn here. You know, You know, what's funny is the players, they love black, man. Like, love it. And I know that's I think the vibe around here has been anti that. Black's not in our school colors. But when recruits come in, and recruits, they like, it's like I do watch when the recruits come in, I'm like, all right, what did they put on? Because, like, when a big-time recruit wants to put it on, you're like, well, does that mean we need to wear that in the game? But if I don't spend a ton of time thinking about it, I'm sure everybody thinks that's like all I do all day is put uniform combinations together. Out of those decisions, I would say the administration here and other people that were involved in planning that out with everybody in that room probably were like looking at me like, why are you so disinterested in this? Because I could give two shits. I just want to win games.
I love this. I mean, really, uniforms are about players first and then fans second. It really doesn't matter. I agree, though. If black is not in your color scheme, black should not be part of your uniform.
Yeah, but I think you see why so many teams choose black. As he said, the players love it, and I watch what the recruits put on when they are here.
He doesn't give two whats? No, he doesn't.
He's the best. I mean, he didn't go in there and give a company line. He even called out one of their former uniforms, like that alligator stuff we wore that one time.
Yeah, I don't know who is better, him or Pete Golding. I mean, I think they're kind of handcuffed, like favorite coaches. Impossible to not like those guys.
Well, they're both so unfiltered, and I just hope getting a big job doesn't. We feared it was going to filter Jon Sumrall. It has not. Now, winning only makes that better.
I would say this. I texted somebody yesterday who worked for the previous group at Florida and is, I think, into their 5th or 6th year at the school. And I just said, hey, I hope you love Coach Sumrall as much as we do. And all they wrote back was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He's the man.
So,
I don't know what. Look, not all these guys can win. I like Golesh. I like Sumrall. I like Pete Golding, but also understand math enough to know not all those guys are going to be successful at the same time. They can't all be successful at the same time. And Kalen DeBoer and Steve Sarkisian. I mean, people are going to start getting fired. That's just the nature of the business.
That is the nature of the business. One more soundbite, if you will. Lane Kiffin, the AP poll came out yesterday. We were about to talk about the polls. Our sound of the day brought to you by our friends at Johnston RV. It's going to be cut number 4, Tyler. Lane Kiffin on the rankings. Before we get to that, they rank their employees at Johnston RV. At least they give out a number 1 every month.
They absolutely do. Scott, give me a thumbs up. We got his picture?
There he is right there.
Scott doesn't just give me a thumbs up. Scott gives me the actual photo of our salesperson of the month for this month, Zach Bowling, the month of July. Zach Bowling, he has been terrific 3 of the last 4 months. This guy is racking up those championship belts. And guess what? He is now the leader in the salesperson of the year standings at Johnston RV.
Wow.
So he's the man to beat. Everybody gunning for Zach Bowling right now. Man, listen, they have sold a lot there. So here's what they got a lot of: trade-ins. And a lot of trade-ins mean they got a lot that they can sell you that is previously owned, and many of them under $20,000. So go to their website, johnstonrvcenter.com, and see that. And listen, they are the top travel trailer dealer in the month of June. That is not just anybody's opinion. That is fact. It is numbers. That is what they have sold there at Johnston RV Center. Go see why. And again, when they sell that many, they're going to have some trade-ins. So the previously owned stock is great too. RV Warranty Forever covers everything that is new and qualifying pre-owned at Johnston RV Center. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Online, johnstonrvcenter.com.
All right. Here is Lane Kiffin getting asked about being number 11 in the AP poll yesterday. Here's Lane.
Getting to know you, what do you think about preseason polls? You guys are ranked 11th today in the AP.
I don't think anything of it, and that's just not coach speak. I mean, I've been parts of where we've been low a year ago and finished really high, and where we've been really high and finished really low. So, and now more than ever, it really shouldn't mean anything. I mean, we don't know as coaches, let alone media or coaches know other teams, because we barely know our own team how we'll play, because you have so many new players. There's no way you could figure it out, and I haven't studied it because there's no reason to, but I bet you analytics from the last 2 years of polls and where people have finished compared to where they start probably have been a long ways off compared to years ago, my guess.
Yeah, if we told Lane that 12 teams that were ranked last year finish unranked, he would say, "See, I told you." half the poll couldn't even stay ranked last year.
Yeah, I mean, really, what does it matter to him? He knows what he's got to accomplish.
Exactly.
Like, if we don't win double-digit games, we don't get to a college football playoff, we don't make noise, it's a disappointment.
Yeah, I tend to believe coaches now that don't pay attention to the AP poll.
Yeah, why
because,
would you?
Because it really does not matter.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they look at it and they're like,
and if
they got us too low or they got us too high.
Yeah, I'm sure Steve Sarkisian yesterday at some point was like, I want to show you what the nation thinks of you. Not one person voted you number one. Not one person. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Sark did that.
Yeah, and you could also use it
as motivation.
Well, like Lane can use this and say, okay, guys, looking at the schedule here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 preseason top 25 teams on
That's right.
This has literally got to be one game at a time. Your ass better be focused week in, week out, or we're going to have a lot of losses.
All we think about right now is Clemson. They're just outside the poll. They want to beat us to get in that poll. You know, I mean, I can see coaches doing silly stuff like that, but I really don't think Lane Kiffin gives two rips where he's ranked, because if he keeps winning, he plays for a championship.
All right. I asked you to do 12. I can't do 12.
I did 12.
I only did 8.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
I did 12.
Yeah.
It's a stretch.
Now, 66% of my list is a combination of ACC and Big 12, because I think those are like wide open-ass leagues. I think I'll probably see a lot of that flavor from you guys as well. And you got to take some shots on some Group 5s.
That's right.
I've got 3 of those guys.
Yeah, I got some Group 5s in here.
In fact, I got 2. I got 3 that I really believe will be in the top 25. That's it at the end of the year. I'm not saying that they did such a great job on the poll yesterday.
I've got 4 that will be. I don't know which ones, because I did no particular order. I feel like 4 of my 12 will be in the top 25.
Yeah, I'll put an underline under the 3 I think will be there at the end of the year.
Yeah, I'll circle the ones that I think will be there.
Oh, okay. I'll star the ones I think.
Yeah.
That may be your best line ever.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a low bar.
Okay.
A low bar.
All right, give me yours, LT. Go first.
Okay, so obviously, again, no particular order, but I had to put Virginia and NC State 1, 2 there. I have also got TCU. I think TCU is going to be really, really good this year. I have got Boise and Navy with stars, because I think one of those two will represent the Group 5. I did throw UNLV in there. I had to have Clemson on this list because Clemson has still got a ton of talent.
And they're 26th, by the way. They're just outside.
Yeah, Virginia Tech, I think it could be immediate impact based on schedule. Franklin's not going to play a lot of top 25, so he's going to win a lot of games. I've got the Auburn Tigers on here. I've got Pitt because Narduzzi does this up and down. And then what am I missing?
Arizona. Did you say Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean, Fafita's coming back for year 10. Year 10, I think, for Fafita. So really good quarterback play.
Yeah. What about you, Brownie?
I want to cover up my bottom one because I'm going to surprise unveil there at the bottom. I got Clemson number 1. Look, they're 26. I still think there's a chance they win in Death Valley. So if they, the other Death Valley, the real Death Valley, at LSU. So if they win at LSU, they jump right in. They're in with a bullet.
Boy, that would be.
That's bad for Lane.
Yeah.
Boise State. Look, you're going to have some Group of 5. So I had Boise State. I got Navy. I got UNLV and Memphis. I actually put a star against Navy and Memphis. I think it's going to be hard to get to from the American. Navy gets a little bit of that sentimental push when they win. I think Memphis could be your Group 5 representative this year. NC State, Lance has sold me on them.
You think who could be the Group 5?
Memphis.
See, I think it's Navy.
Yeah. Could be. I mean, the American, I think, stands a really good chance.
Group 6.
Florida, Arizona, Virginia Tech, Virginia, UNLV. And then at the bottom, I'm starting to believe in Oklahoma State. And I know that's a crazy turnaround, but with Mestamaker, Eric Morris, with all those players he's brought over, I could see them be the surprise team in the Big 12. They're not going to play for the Big 12 championship. But if you could get Oak State to 7 or 8 wins,
I mean, they would have to be 8-4.
Yeah, I think they can do it.
Navy is going to be ranked maybe 11-1 by the time they play in the American Championship. Clemson and Florida, the 3 I really believe will be there. I threw South Carolina, Nebraska.
I love
TCU,
your exercise.
NC
You
State.
couldn't even get to 12.
Well,
you gave us 12 and you do 8.
I started going through it. I was like,
no, it's
my
hard.
God. Yeah. 12 last year's insane.
I really think you have to take shots at the big. I also had Kansas State on my list. You got to take shots at the Big 12 and the ACC.
Yeah. But the fact that we had that many in last year, that's just how bad that first poll was last year, I think. and no shot at Haley. But that was just a sucky poll.
Well,
last year.
it's funny. You heard Marcello earlier saying, man, the top 9 are kind of easy. Well, somebody in that 9 is going to be out of the top 25, so it might be easy going in, but it's not easy to maintain.
I'm just looking at last year. Like, had we done this exercise last year, would you have had North Texas on yours? Probably not. They finished 24th. Would you have had James Madison on yours?
Nope.
No.
They finished 19th. I suspect because we like Jon Sumrall, we might have made a case for Tulane.
I think you could. I think we did talk about Tulane in the mix to take that bid.
Yeah. And then you got teams like Houston. Like, I don't know what I thought of Houston in the offseason. I do like Willie Fritz.
Fritz was coming off 3 wins.
Yeah, so I don't know that I'd have them in the top 25.
I'm adding one.
Oh, who you'd add?
UTSA.
Houston. The Roadrunners.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Little trap game for Texas. Week 3 after Ohio State. Beep. Could be their year. I mean, all due respect to the schedule for Navy, but Townsend, Florida Atlantic, UAB, Air Force, Tulsa, UTSA, North Texas, Notre Dame, their loss, Temple, Memphis, Charlotte, and Army. I think Navy's 11-1.
The UAB game's in Birmingham, right? They play them in Birmingham, yeah. They played in Annapolis last year.
Does it matter?
No, y'all will appreciate this. I've got a cousin that's super old school football fan, and he has told me many times, I'm out on college football with the NIL and transfer portal. I'm out. And he texted me the other day, and he says
it's going to kill college football.
I know. The other day he texted me and he says, "Hey, I've told you I'm out on college football, but my wife and I have started watching the service academies because." They're still old school, Army and Navy.
Yeah.
And he said, Navy's coming to UAB. Do you think you could get me some tickets for that? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can handle that for you. I don't think the Navy UAB game is going to be a big ticket grab on that one. I think I'll be okay.
Jim, I have a question about how this would work if Navy made the college football playoff. I've thought about this several times, but like the committee unveils the rankings or the final rankings in the selection process before they play Army.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
So how would that work?
They're locked in. They're locked into their spot. I don't think they wait and see how that Army game turns out. I think it's just deemed an exhibition.
I think they would lock them in. I think the thing to do would be if they win and if win. If they win,
that would be the best way to do it. But
they won't do it.
They're going to be the G6 rep, right? The American Championship is the week before the Army-Navy game.
It is.
And then the Sunday before the Army-Navy game is the unveiling of who's in the playoffs and who's not in the playoffs. And LT's right. The best way to do it would be, but it makes the Army-Navy game literally an exhibition game if Navy is selected.
I assume it doesn't count towards their conference record then.
No, it doesn't. It's already an exhibition game.
I mean, we do a lot of this made-for-television stuff. Can you imagine if there was a camera in Boise's facility?
Watching the Army-Navy game, and they're going nuts every touchdown?
Yeah, Boise is in if Army wins. Right. If Navy wins, they're in. I think there would be incredible drama.
They're all in camo. They all come in.
I would like to do it that way. That would be much more entertaining.
Yeah, but they'll lock them in. In fact, I mean, they're going to be the 12th seed either way. So it's really not changing anything.
And they're going to beat Army. That's one of my big 3 plays of the year.
Yo, is it already?
Yeah.
I'll go on and announce it. We will be back at the Floribama for Army.
All right, we're going to be there. It's going to be as meaningful a game as ever.
Floribama back on with us next week. We'll give you more information on those guys, but you want to mark it down.
There's a chance that Brooks actually be at Boise covering that side of that big game. We'll send Brooks to Boise.
Let's check in.
Thank you. I would love to go to Boise in December while you guys are at the beach.
Yeah, and you're going to drive, so it'll be great.
That's right. Let us know how that goes.
It works so well for SEC Media Days.
That is going to feel weird. And the weirder part to Brooks' question is if Navy gets a key injury in that game. I mean, can you imagine they're the 12th seed and their quarterback, gets rolled up and blows an ACL?
13-0 Florida State sitting here going, hey, a few years ago you didn't let us in.
I know. I mean, can you imagine their quarterback getting rolled up in that game? And now you go play the 5 seed with your backup quarterback?
It doesn't matter. They'll play everybody.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Our friends, that's a bigger game than the playoff game for them, beating Army.
Yeah. No, they will not set a quarterback out. Yeah. No, I'm not suggesting that. I'm just suggesting
us going to play Georgia at Georgia, not as big as us beating Army.
Yeah, well, I'm saying what it does for the playoff is it's already such a detriment to have that team in there. Just to be honest with you, and now they're without their quarterback.
Yeah. Our friends at Hemphill, one more big thing to get to in this segment. Tell us about Hemphill, LT.
Yeah, Hemphill, they've been serving the Birmingham area since 1954. The name that you can trust when it comes to plumbing, heating, cooling issues, home or business. They are ready to serve. 205-229-2090. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
By the way, the ranked teams on the schedule from the AP poll: Arkansas, Texas, Kentucky play 7. Oklahoma, Michigan, Mississippi State, Ohio State, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M play 6 ranked teams from the preseason rankings. Auburn plays 5. Alabama and Georgia play 4. Notre Dame plays 3. Penn State plays 3. BYU, Clemson, Louisville, SMU, Utah play 2. 2 teams that everybody has ranked in the playoffs play 1. Miami and Texas Tech. On their schedule of the preseason top 25, Miami and Texas Tech have just 1 ranked game.
And what'd you say, Notre Dame 2?
Notre Dame's got 3.
If Lance is right and Miami gets tripped up at Clemson, which is definitely doable, Mario is going to do one of those every year. I mean, they are in really serious trouble if they lose to Notre Dame.
Should be.
No,
because
but if they don't go to the conference championship game, I think they get left out.
I'm to the point, like, they could beat Clemson. They really, because I said this yesterday, they could lose to Notre Dame, lose the
conference SMU, maybe somebody like that. SMU, yeah.
And they're 11-2, and they don't have any top 25 wins. And I could see a 9-3 at-large SEC team get the bump.
Yeah.
If we're truly going by best teams.
Yeah, Oklahoma goes 9-3 with that schedule. Ohio State goes 9-3 with that schedule, and it's down to them or Miami. I go Ohio State or Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, just look at it. Miami plays 1. SMU, Clemson, Louisville only play 2.
Yeah.
BYU only plays 2. Utah only plays 2. Texas Tech only plays 1.
So you said Arkansas's got the most, though?
Arkansas, Texas, and Kentucky play 7.
I saw this stat the other day that since 2022, Scotty Scheffler has more wins than Arkansas, which is incredible to think about.
Are you kidding?
Yes, isn't that wild? That since 2022, Scotty Scheffler has more wins than Arkansas, and it's why we rank Ryan Silverfield where we rank him. He might be a good coach. I don't know. We may never know, though. I mean, how do you dig out with that schedule right there? Playing 7 ranked teams, you got 12 games and 7 of them are preseason ranked.
When we come back right before trash, the one team that always gets you every year, you buy into them. There's a couple of pops in mind for you that you bought into over the years that never really lived up to it. But the one team, when you think of a team that you buy into, that seem to bite you. You buy into them in August. By the time you get to November, you're like, why did I believe in that team again?
That's Purdue for Brown and the Bracket
basketball,
Challenge.
yeah. I've had to do some stupid stuff because of Purdue.
So just give us that one team when we come back on the other side. When we get to trash, the show today being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson.
Yeah, 205-969-8100, the number I called way back in the day. I had the 2200 vision, was legally blind without the aid of contacts after the procedure. 2015 vision, I've still got it since 2003. Dr. Martin Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. When you make that phone call, ask for Amy Toe. The next round sent you. They are going to hook you up with that hassle-free consultation. For more information, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
And our friends at Champies, they bring you this final hour every day on the show. They've done that now for 1,262 versions of the next round, plus some bonus shows. Unbelievable hand-cut chicken fingers. They're as big as Trey Taylor and Tyler's arms. All those T's right there. They're huge chicken fingers. The Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. They're delicious with a little spice. In-house made sides, in-house made desserts, and specialty drinks at happy hour. You can't beat Champy's Chicken. It's Sterling's Place right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster and champy'schicken.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
When a motorcycle accident turns your world upside down, who's going to look out for your family while you're healing? Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys is here for you, fighting for injured riders and getting families the compensation they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait. Call 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical Offices Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA, and enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Final segment of the show, the team that gets you every time, brought to you by our friends at Odie's, where you can get trivia every Wednesday night. But don't sleep on lunch and dinner as well. I still stick by the Great Ranch. I love their chicken fingers and ranch. I love their club sandwich. And LT will tell you about that burger that Rodney has been cooking up for years.
Yeah, 4 decades now. The incredible burgers, award-winning wings, delicious sandwiches like that Diablo sandwich. Get into Odie's for lunch or dinner. Great place to watch all of your football action as well. Live music every Friday and Saturday. Trivia on Wednesday nights. 2 locations for you. The original in Crestline right there on Broadway and Edgewood and Homewood as well. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution is Odie's staff.
Before we do that team thing, everywhere people are talking about Jenny Buss against family sale of the Lakers, and she's fighting to keep part of the Lakers in the family there. It is sort of sad. I don't think it's a big deal. Most people don't know the owners and such, but it is sort of sad that family ownership's going away, and it's all private equity groups that are buying these teams and everything.
Yeah. I mean, look, I just don't know what kind of families can afford this. I just finished that documentary on the Murdochs, and seeing just how that thing played. It played out just like Succession, really.
Right.
But just how that family got so sideways. But that was one of the few families in the world that could afford something like the Los Angeles Lakers, and they just don't have that kind of money when you're talking about dealing with private equity now. And it really is sad that, I mean, she would like to at least keep a little bit of stake in this.
Was Dr. Buss, did he bring them to L.A.?
No, they were there. And
so he bought them after they moved from Minneapolis.
At a very discounted rate.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a great investment, huh?
Yeah. Like they were struggling to, I don't think they were struggling to make payroll, but the NBA hadn't even taken off yet.
Yeah. And he made it Los Angeles' show. And that's still, I mean, that's the Lakers own that town. They own it.
Yeah. And it to me, it's still the standard in the NBA.
I mean, them in Boston. I mean, I think Boston's right there with them as much as.
But when
I'm a
you
Laker
think
guy.
first dance team, if I am right, the Laker girls were the first dance team.
I would assume.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the Playboy Club in the Forum.
Yep. What became the modern day NBA was because of the Buss family and what they came up with to make LA the show it needed to be to sell tickets in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Now she says she can block this though, right?
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, I'm reading right there on McAfee show. It says 5 of the 6 siblings voted to sell. I don't know how she's got. No, but she owns 17.6% of it.
Well, the whole family owns.
The Buss family.
Yeah.
So she's got only a portion of that 17%. Yeah.
But I mean, how many votes would she? Even if she had 2 votes on the board,
Well, 5 of the 6 siblings say yes. I don't know how she.
I mean, simple math.
I get the feeling Dr. Buss, because Jenny was more involved than the others.
Yes, no doubt.
The others are looking at a cash.
Yeah, Jim was very involved, but Dr. Buss has been gone now, and
I get the feeling that he probably wrote in there somewhere that unless Jenny signs off on it,
oh wow,
then you can't do anything with it.
I can't imagine it's gotten that far along if that were in the contract.
Yeah.
Like Kushner and his people would not have let it get this far down the road if they thought she could solo veto this thing. I wouldn't think.
I would imagine. I mean, we've all got situations where if I was Dr. Buss, I know Jenny will take care of the Lakers, but if you have to sell it for the family, then sell it. But unless Jenny signs off on it, I know Jenny won't sign off for a money grab.
Yeah.
Unless Jenny signs off on it, you guys can't sell it just for parts.
Yeah. I would imagine the family would look back to Dr. Buss and say, yeah, but we can get $12.5 billion for
That's
it.
right.
You never would have foreseen that when you put that in the contract.
And you wrote some fake checks and bought it for less than $1 million.
They said $68 million in the chat. I don't know what he bought it for, but
that sounds right.
You will learn if you watch that documentary. If you've got billions of dollars, figure out who your successor is. Probably safe just to have one kid, or try not to have dysfunctional family. Everybody gets along, which is nearly impossible.
Especially when you inject billions of dollars in.
The Murdoch kids, the 5 kids, got $2 billion each, and they were still bitching and complaining and fighting. What would you do with $2 billion? Like, I don't want to make decisions anymore. I did math just sitting there. With $2 billion, you could spend $100,000 a day for 60 years. That's without any interest coming.
I mean, I literally don't think I can spend $100,000 in a day, much less every day of the year.
For 60 years.
For 60
without
years.
any interest coming.
Like if you had to spend $100,000 today, you might could get there today. All right.
Oh, you could easily get there today.
All right. You got to get up and do it again tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to get tough.
Yeah.
Brewster's
I mean, at
millions.
some point you're like, I don't know what else I can spend on. I've spent on everything I can spend on. 100,000. I mean, that's a hard to go through.
Am I gambling? Because I love the White Sox tonight.
Good news, Scotty.
I'd put 100 on the White Sox tonight easily. All right. Okay. What's that team? What's that team that gets you every time?
It's Auburn for you. Go ahead and say it. It's Auburn for you.
Yeah. I mean, because you placate to your golfing buddies.
But you had them in the playoffs last year, and they were so far from the playoffs.
I mean, I do. And Byron Brown and these guys, I mean, I can start. I didn't put them on my list because I didn't want the blowback, but you could easily see Auburn at the back end of the top 25 at the end of the year.
But have to be 8-4. It would be tough, but I mean, I do think that they could get to 8 wins if everything breaks right.
Well,
I mean, I had them in mind.
Yeah. So
we had to have 12.
Auburn for me in football.
I think I always see the glitz and glamour of USC and think, well, this will be the year. I don't trust Lincoln Riley, but at some point I'm like, yeah, but he's at USC and they've got all this talent and all of this. I mean, at some point USC's going to deliver.
I mean, for me, it's obviously Utah. Look, and they've had really good years. They won 11 games last year, but they couldn't get into a college football playoff. So
I was wondering if that was going to go with Whittingham to Michigan this year.
I do feel better. I agree with Marcello. I think Jason Beck, and you saw how good Utah's offense was running the football. I think that's really going to help Underwood. We'll see. I think Michigan's got some really difficult games year one. I think it would be a high ask for them to get to a college football playoff, but Whittingham's a hell of a coach. Just couldn't get over that hump. I mean, he averaged, about 10 wins every year at Utah, or at least the last decade.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm worse about what you're talking about in the NCAA tournament. I think that lends itself more to falling in love with a same team every year, and they always disappoint you. It's harder to do in football.
Yeah, well, because you get to the tournament, and you're like, you've got 30 games of data, and you're like, God, they've been good for 30 games. How can they not be good for 6?
Yeah, and I know they weren't last year, but this is the year they're going to do it. I know
Purdue's a great example.
I know a 16 seed knocked them out last year.
Yeah,
this is the year they're going to do it, though. And actually, that's what happened to Purdue.
Yeah, Gonzaga, this is their year. They're going to do it. All right, before we do trash, I want to remind you, our friends at Talladega want you to come and experience the world's fastest speedway. Unbelievable. Just people watching. Some of the most fun in my times going to Talladega, and I probably have been 40 times for a race Sunday, is just watching the people, the people who come from all over the country and all over the world just to experience Talladega one time. We're so lucky to live so close to Talladega. We get to experience it 40 times in a lifetime. You get it twice a year, and that includes the fall race now coming up October 23rd through the 25th. It's the Yellowwood 500 playoff racing. Get your tickets right now, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Don't forget to upgrade with the garage experience, the most immersive in all of NASCAR. You're up close and personal watching them work on your favorite driver's car, and you get to see the driver in there as well. It's TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Let's do trash.
I love to show the texture and this wave pattern. Again, it looks like you went and got a blow job at your blowout at your salon. And it looks beautiful.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light, they will be very involved with our kickoff party, celebrating 5 years next Thursday, Tattersall Park. Walk-ons, there it is right there. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, Bud Light.
Fun time coming up.
Man, I just came across this before I get to Tyler's trash. This is crazy. This broke yesterday. I don't know if you saw this, and you might have it for trash tomorrow. 2 Penn State University fraternities are at the center of a cocaine trafficking ring bust, leading to charges against 14 people, authorities announced yesterday. Now, according to the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General, the cocaine was cut and packaged primarily at the Delta, Epsilon, and Sigma Chi fraternity houses before it was distributed mostly to other Penn State students. The Attorney General's office alleged that 2 former students, Agostino, Abatello, and Thomas Robinson were the main suppliers, making regular trips from Philly and New York for, quote, large quantities of cocaine. 13 of the people charged were Penn State students at or around the time of the alleged drug trafficking ring from 2023 to 2024. 14th defendant, father of a student, accused of trying to conceal evidence and obstruct the investigation. They said, now, according to the Attorney General, quote, this was a coordinated and highly profitable drug trafficking crew revolving around 2 senior members of fraternities that would get the packages of cocaine, and they would get the pledges to cut up the cocaine and package it. That is nuts.
That is nuts.
They waited to the first day of class to kick their doors in.
Did they really?
Yep.
Did they call this a Penn State whiteout?
That's what Daniel said in the chat. Talk about a whiteout.
Man, that is nuts.
That is nuts.
Like, I got our pledges involved in I dabbled in illegal
misdemeanors
activity. Yeah, like they'd run to the bank and, they'd pick up a package here, drop off a package there, but it wasn't illegal drugs. It was just cash.
Man, that's crazy.
It is. High school.
You just had them laundering money.
Well, not really laundering. I mean, they were just taking money to one place to another for
it's
me.
Not laundering.
Yeah.
Now, a high school football coach in Alabama, I have not heard this yet, has resigned after being arrested for public intox at a jamboree this past Friday. Have you guys heard about this?
I read this story last night.
Jerry Folks associate head coach and defense coordinator at Guntersville High School, was arrested by police on Friday, according to WHNT. Folks reportedly approached officers and said that he was a member of the Birmingham News in order to try to gain a sideline access during the Arab High School Jamboree. Officers believe Folks was intoxicated, escorted him out of the stadium. After further examinations, officers determined that he indeed was intoxicated, arrested him for public intox. He was taken to the Marshall County Jail.
Well, I mean, Birmingham News, what the hell? How drunk do you have to be to go newspaper?
That's what I said. He tried to claim to be it.
Yeah.
Something that doesn't exist anymore.
Was it a game at Mountain Brook or Briarwood? No, they were at Arab, because the Birmingham News is going to come cover the Arab.
Well, I mean, the Birmingham News
game.
doesn't even exist anymore.
No. You don't work. No one works for the Birmingham News.
The Arab Jamboree game. The Birmingham News would have definitely been there back in the day.
Now,
They had the
Guntersville,
budget for it.
Yeah.
their city schools released a statement. The Guntersville City Board of Education accepted Folks' resignation during a special called meeting this morning. Folks and other Guntersville coaches were at the game to scout Arab, which is Guntersville's Week 1 opponent, according to WAFF.
Guntersville's going to beat the crap out of Arab anyway.
Yeah, Guntersville's got to be a 2-touchdown favorite, right?
Do it without Coach Folks.
Arab's nickname. Do you know their nickname?
The
terrorist.
They used to be.
I got it.
Scott knows it.
They used to be the Knights, the Arabian Nights.
Nights.
The Arabian Nights.
The old Arabian Nights.
Yeah. Are they still?
I do believe they are. Yes, I believe they're the Arabian Nights.
That hadn't gotten controversial yet.
No. Friend of mine, Chad Hudson, baseball coach there. Got a good baseball program there at Arab.
They always wanted a live camel on the sidelines. Never could get one.
A woman who had a bear break into her house said her biggest issue was the fact that the animal stole her KFC. Now, if you're out and about with food in an
God
area
bless the bear.
where animals are roaming, chances are they're going to come up to you and ask to be fed. Yet, when you're in the comfort of your own home,
Would
you
you
don't
feed me?
expect visitors to drop by and look for food. It's a pretty uncommon thing to happen. However, over in Kentucky, one woman was left scared and sad for her food when a bear decided to break in and steal the KFC. Now, as per Fox 56 News, incident unfolded in the early hours of August 13th when Kendra North had been asleep at the home. Instead of having to flee from the bear, she actually slept through as the animal rummaged through her home. Quote, my sister started calling me like 5 in the morning and I declined her at least twice. She just kept calling. She told Fox 56. I answered the call and she was like, bro, there's a bear and it just walked out of your house and it came down your steps. It came and looked at me dead in the eyes on the side of the yard. North said the bear, quote, shattered a glass table, gobbled up her KFC. She went on to say, I was a little sad over the KFC.
I'm a heavy sleeper.
Yeah, gobbled up the KFC and then appeared in a Charmin Bear commercial. It's one of the Charmin Bears at that point.
Right through him.
Went right into the woods.
I am a heavy sleeper. I cannot imagine sleeping through a bear rummaging through my kitchen and breaking a glass table. Don't think I'll sleep through that one.
Yeah.
I'm a heavy sleeper, though.
My son's at home right now. I probably would have been like, Carter, it's 2 in the morning. What are you doing?
Why'd you break the table?
Florida man has been arrested after an altercation with his neighbor, which saw him fling dog shit at him and then threatened to hit him with a children's scooter. Now, responsible dog owners often treat their pets like royalty. They get to sleep with them all night, eat well, and are care for them at the highest level. Even if they piss or poop, it is cleaned up in an instant. Not all homeowners or pet owners are like that, however, can leave the result of their dog's trip to the toilet just lying around for everyone else to deal with. That causes plenty of frustration, but over in Florida, one man decided to get his own back. As per WKMG-TV, Trey Colt from Leesburg, Florida, was arrested after he had grown tired of his neighbor leaving dog shit everywhere, ended up throwing it at him in a heated confrontation. Now, according to the report, DeColt claimed he had complained to his neighbors about their dog using his yard as a garden. 35-year-old reportedly confronted the man at his home before hitting him with the feces. His neighbor claimed that the 35-year-old held a children's scooter over him, threatening to use it. He does face charges of burglary with battery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and simple battery.
Justin Bieber and Macaulay Culkin meshed together.
I see a little Channing
But
Tatum.
both of them when they were on their worst behavior.
Yeah, you're right.
Or Justin Bieber playing Spock in a remake of Star Trek.
Yeah,
That
the
one's
ears,
better.
the ears, yeah.
Those ears. Does cocaine make your ears grow?
This was dog poop.
Oh,
Different
does dog
story.
poop make your ears grow?
This is not Penn State.
Does KFC make your ears grow?
And finally, the man who pulled the one-of-one Cooper Flag rookie patch NBA card is turning down big-time offers as he doesn't want the money. Now, over the last few years, sports trading card market has seen a massive resurgence, especially as more special cards and celebrities have gotten involved with the hobby. One of the biggest cards in recent history, Cooper Flag's rookie debut patch autograph card, has been unfound until August 10th. The one-of-one card was finally found in Rhode Island, being uncovered in a box break. Jason Williams spent $515 to buy into the break, which set to pay out in spades, with the flag card being worth millions of dollars.
Millions?
Plenty of offers have already rolled in, including from the Dallas Mavericks, who have offered season tickets for 32 years.
No, thank you.
A signed game-worn flag jersey and a photograph with the star. But do you think about you could flip those tickets for 32 years?
Yeah, but that takes a lot of effort. I just want the cash right now.
Yeah,
I'd just sell it. Sell it.
Now, Williams, not interested in the money, is looking forward to the, quote, experiences that owning the card will bring.
What experiences will this bring?
That's what I thought when I read the story. Because if you don't take the money or the offer of season tickets for 32 years, what experiences are you getting?
Experiences this bring?
Take the money. That looks real nice on the show.
But if Cooper Flag disappeared from the planet, what's this thing worth?
Well, maybe if an alien takes him, worth a lot, probably.
If your house burns down.
Yeah.
Quote, right now, I'm not even looking at the money for me. I'm looking forward to the experiences that I'm going to get out of this and the things that my family and my kids are going to get to experience, that the memories are worth a lifetime.
I'm foggy on what he's going to experience.
As
I'd like
noted,
to know that.
multiple offers. Ken Golden offered $1.5 million as it advanced before auctioning it, believing it could bring in around $1.5. Collectibles Marketplace has got people willing to pay over $3 million for the card.
What are we doing here? Sell it.
Yeah.
I don't understand this. I don't know what experiences he's talking about.
And the thing is, the card, this debut patch right here, what Topps does is they'll take the debut patches from players' jerseys, cut it out, and make a one-of-one card. It's the only one that will ever exist.
I cannot believe Cooper Flag is going for that kind of money. First of all, that's what stuns me.
Wembanyama,
that one was going for 5.5, I think.
Yeah, over $5 million for his rookie card.
It blows me away that people will pay that for a trading card, but I mean, that's their money. I don't care.
Now I understand. Instead of buying lottery tickets, buy boxes of cards and open them. A little bit more fun.
There was a study that came out recently. I think the percentage was 25 or 26% of Gen Z has decided to, instead of putting their money in index funds, 401ks, and whatnot, they've invested in Pokemon cards and sports cards.
That says a lot right there.
Wow. I take the money, buddy. I mean, you can buy a lot of experiences for 1.5.
Yeah, and by the way, it could be worth $400,000 tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah. And $200,000 the next day.
Yeah, I would just say this about the Pokemon card. It is kind of like the Cabbage Patch dolls and the Beanie Babies.
The bottom can fall out any
Pokemon
second.
cards just seem to keep going up.
Buddy, I remember I knew a guy that owned a toy store in Anniston, which, I know what you guys think. He just printed money owning a toy store in Anniston, right? But where he made a ton of money was the Thai Beanie Babies. You remember those?
Oh, yeah. The Princess Di one that was worth.
They would get a shipment, and they'd be going like that. People would line up. They would find out the shipment days and line up outside his store. People were paying all kinds of money.
What did people do with the beanie? It was an eyesore. Like,
but they would trade them and sell them. They could sell them secondarily.
But where do you display the Beanie Baby?
I don't know. I never had one.
In the back window of your Honda Accord.
Yes.
That's where they are now.
But that was in the craze, and they were going nuts, paying all kinds of money for them.
Yeah, you never know. That's Trash today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. A week from Thursday, we're at the 280 location for our 6th kickoff party. This is our 5th anniversary kickoff party, whichever way you're counting. 6 Brooks. We've done 6 of them. 5th anniversary. Celebrating 5 full years as we start year 6 now. As we roll into this August the 27th, it'll start at 5 o'clock. You come on out there. It's a week from Thursday on Highway 280 Walk-Ons, Tattersall Park, presented by Bud Light and Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. It's always a good time, man, and all the other festivities we had last year, including a big giveaway, will be going on again. Food and conversation and photos and just football, live football on the TV. That'll be fun as well. All that happening a week from Thursday as we get ready for week 0 of college football. Before we go, LT called it. LT called it. It was the SEC Media Days in Nashville. We came back from Nashville, and somewhere, I think it was on a Wednesday show the week after SEC Media Days in Nashville, I think he said it on the air that Nike was done because Dunaway got a pair of Nike Dunks.
Funnily enough, the market for dunks.
Wait.
Okay, my bad.
This is the story.
My bad.
Yeah, this is the story. LT called it. That was 2022 or 2023. Now that
2023.
Now that old people, I think was the quote, are buying dunks. Nike stock in general down 80% from 2021. 4% drop just yesterday. It's the lowest Nike stock has been since 2014. Since 2014. And the dunk market is
through the floor.
You did it.
Back when Jim was buying dunks and talking ball with the boys, you could sell a pair of plain black and white dunks for $300.
The Pandas, right? Those are the Pandas.
The Pandas. They resell for 80 or 90. You could flip them for 300. But the problem is a lot of people wanted the dunks, and so Nike decides, we'll just make a bunch of them then so everybody can have them. And after that, nobody wanted them because the Dunaways of the world started collecting.
Right. So that Nike stock, man, I wonder if that impacts Oregon long term.
Well, somebody said in the chat, Lamai Believer said Dan Lanning nervous. He was on the show last week and talked about Fitzy walked in his office one day wearing Under Armour. He made him leave. He's like, only Nike in the building, and that's who funds that whole deal up there. So you do wonder, look at Scott, how quick he digs up that video.
Yeah.
Jimmy D getting the dunks.
I don't know if you wear them anymore. I did wear my USC dunks a couple of days ago to dinner. I just you could sling a dead cat and you'd hit somebody with a pair of dunks back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know why Nike did that.
Yeah, I wear them during basketball season.
What happened was this model right here that I've got, the Nike SB Dunk, was very popular in the early 2000s and 2010s, and they were going for big money with sneaker collectors. And then right before the pandemic, Travis Scott starts wearing dunks and starts posting pictures and all these vintage dunks. Price on those starts going up because people want to say, well, I'll spend, X amount of money if I'm wearing the same shoes that Travis Scott has. And then Nike decides, well, we got to capitalize on this and make a bunch.
Yeah, I did read, and I don't know how true this is. I don't follow the shoe industry.
I tied this in because of the card thing. That dude needs to sell that card
exactly.
really quick.
You never know. You'd have taken all the Nike stock you could get 10 years ago.
Yep.
I did read that Nike made a gamble post-COVID because COVID became so big mail order for them that post-COVID people weren't going to go back to the stores and buy product, and they surrendered a lot of wall space in your bigger stores like Dick's and Academy.
Yep.
And those type, and Foot Locker and those types of stores, they surrendered wall space, and you know who took it?
Adidas,
Hoka, and OnCloud. I think were the big three that gobbled it up.
I honestly think anybody that sells out to the big brand store, the stock's going to do this. I mean, it happened to Under Armour.
Yeah.
Under Armour was like $50. I think they're like $6 right now. Their stock.
So if you have stock right now and you want to sell, I now have 4 pair of the Sambas. So sell those.
We were going to get dinner last night, and there was a conversation on the radio about Adidas for whatever reason. And I've never had anything Adidas. Like, I've never had a T-shirt, a pair of shoes.
Oh, I love their gear.
Very, very random, but I haven't.
You never even had those the Run DMC Superstars back in the day?
I did not. I did not.
Did you ever have K-Swiss? I had some K-Swiss.
I didn't have any K-Swiss.
Did you have what was the name of it? British Knights? I had some BK.
I did not have any BKs,
British Knights?
No.
You didn't grow up in Calhoun County?
I did not grow up in Calhoun County.
That was a status symbol in Calhoun
Another
County.
problem with
Knights.
the Nike is when you've got, the Roback and the Viore and the Lululemon, you've got these other brands where the price point for a hoodie is about the same.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys ever go out to JSU for a preseason media day?
Oh, yeah, they would give you the shoes.
Yeah, they would give you, they had just boxes of Adidas shoes for the media.
Yeah, when you would, I remember that when you would sign up for JSU Media Day, they would ask your shoe size, and they'd give you a pair of shoes.
They used to do that for the 8A game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, in Tuscaloosa.
I was just in New York, and everywhere I went, the 18 to 25-year-old had, I can't remember the name of them now. It's a little wave-like logo.
Are you going to get some?
I almost bought a pair while I was there because they were having a big sale.
The Hokas are huge among the college kids.
Name a couple of shoe brands.
Brooks?
No.
All
God, they were big with skaters a while back.
Vans?
Oh, they coming back?
I thought the Vans comeback was like in 2005 to 2010.
Yeah, they've been around for a while. They're having another resurgence because
these don't look like the checkerboard Vans and all that. They're just it's the Vans. It's the Vans, 100%.
It's probably price point too, because I think you get Vans for $80.
Yeah, you can get Vans for $40 and $50 depending on the model, but they've also done some limited collaboration Vans and stuff like that where they make it look like a vintage Chanel bag or something.
I love the fact that I've only seen one other guy in media that wears my favorite shoes, and this was a couple of years ago, but there's a business on the second floor where there's two guys that wear them all the time.
Who's the other guy in the media that wears it?
A guy that covers Texas A&M.
Billy Lucci.
But it's just random. Like, I don't want these things. I know it's going to blow up, and once it blows up, I'm going to have to cash out on
So
it.
you and Billy Lucci share shoe styles.
I mean, I've got a pair. Hunter Bussey came by a few weeks back and just dropped off a pair for me.
Best shoes in the world.
They're comfy.
Yeah.
All right, that's our show today. We're back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.